ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter. Haaland scores the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada Face-Off Associate GM Jim Nail. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
Now we're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy, he's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs game night, the Leafs in Calgary. Puck drop just after the top of the hour. Tonight's coach's comment is powered by your Ontario Honda dealers. Power, efficiency, performance. The Honda Civic Hybrid is your ultimate power play. Available now at your Ontario Honda dealer. So here's Coach Berube. Obviously, Wall starts tonight, but the question is if Stolarz is an option against Seattle on Thursday night.
He is an option. Yeah, I think it's more about getting work and practice a little bit more. Just shooting, traffic, all that kind of stuff, the timing side of it, he's not quite there yet.
What makes a performance like the one on Saturday in Edmonton for Wool do for a goalie historically?
Well, he's had a few of them. Like he's played a real good games for us this year, and obviously played well. I think he's confident goalie right now. He's seeing the puck well. He's battling in there. He's competitive, and that's how you make those saves, is by being competitive.
If Mitch doesn't play, it look like you're trying out Morgan Rielly back on the PP1. Is that trying to get his offensive game going? Well, what's the thought process?
Well, it's just he's been there, right? For I don't know how long here, but he's played in that situation, and he's to me, he's the guy that goes there. That's really what it boils down to right now, if Mitch is out.
If Mitch is out, what can an opportunity like this do for Max?
Yeah, well, Max is, a lot going back to last year, played a handful of games or more with Austin, and, they had some pretty good chemistry going, so he's a passer. We need a passer on that line with Matthews and Knies, so he's a guy that can make plays. And like I said, it's all about Max. It's all about his skating. He needs to move. He needs to attack and have that mindset for me.
What stands out to you about the Flames and the challenge?
Yeah, they're a hard-working team. They've been for a little while, years. They're going to compete and they're going to work. Added 2 new players to their roster. They look to me like they're playing pretty good. I saw Frost and Farabee in Philly for a while, so they're good players. We're going to get challenged. I'll tell you that. It's not going to be easy, and we don't expect it. We're going to have to earn everything, and their goaltending has been lights out.
Max was talking about how playoff style goals is kind of how this team has gotten through this year, right? You guys are not a rush team anymore. It's more of a consistent get to the net team. Are you open to more rush goals just to supplement offense as you go?
Well, when rushes are there, take them. We're not trying to take the game and the sticks out of the guys' hands. When there's opportunities to attack off the rush, by all means, go do it. But we just don't want to put ourselves in tough situations, forcing plays through the middle of the ice when they're not there. I think that's really, the nuts and bolts of it.
Well, that's the stuff that kills you in the playoffs, right?
Well, it does. But, we've had rush chances this year, plenty of them. It's not like we don't try to do things off the rush. When they're there, they're there. When they're not, make good decisions with the puck.
So that's Coach Berube earlier today, before it was known that Marner would not play. Didn't skate yesterday, didn't skate today, not playing tonight. His first missed game of the regular season. Still waiting on word to see if Oliver Ekman-Larsson plays or not. He did skate today and did skate in the pregame, so we'll keep our ears open for that and pass it along. And clearly, Matt, when we get back to the power play, and Coach Berube said that, I mean, Morgan Rielly has to be Morgan Rielly here, doesn't he?
Oh God, yeah. That's why they signed him to the deal. That's why he's got 6-7 year contract. He is a dynamic offensive player. We've seen the interesting thing is we've seen him at his best at the highest level of competition.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago in that playoff series against Tampa. Actually, usually in the postseason he seems to raise his game, but for whatever reason this year, maybe we find out later. Maybe there's an injury. Maybe that comes out during the time period where the Leafs are off with the Four Nations face-off. But the eye test doesn't look great. The stats don't look great. And I'm not just looking at this from the plus minus because, I thought Craig Berube, brought up a good point. There's a lot of those minus is because of empty net goals, but still minus 19. Your best defenseman should not be clearly the worst in plus minus, and it's not even close. And I'm not asking him to be Victor Hedman, but you expect the numbers to be a little bit better than that. And the other point, Jim, I was thinking about it is the Mitch Marner injury or him out tonight, how much it impacts two guys.
Yeah.
How much it impacts, Max Domi, opportunity on the first line. Morgan Rielly, opportunity, more of a chance to quarterback the first power play. It's interesting just how one player, and this speaks to how good Mitch Marner is with him out, how it impacts two other players so much.
Well, I'm going to add two more, so I'm going to say it impacts four. It impacts Knies and Matthews, too. I mean, you heard the coach go about how Max they need a passer on that line, and sometimes I think Marner can be underappreciated. He drives that line.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, absolutely he does. But you know what? This is, for Austin Matthews, you're one of the top players, and the best players can handle being without a guy. And you're right. Not having Mitch Marner there makes his job more difficult. But again, we saw the relationship he had with Max Domi last year.
Yep.
We saw that over and over. How many times, just no-look passes behind the net and just hitting Matthews in stride. Often, Max Domi, the great quarterbacks, they throw a receiver open.
Yeah.
Now, while Max Domi's not at the level of Mitch Marner, Max Domi did that plenty last season with Austin Matthews. And that's what you want to see, whatever sort of sample size we get with Max on this first line.
So let's do a plus minus. No, let's do a yes guy and a no guy. My yes guy, the thing I'm most looking forward to is Stolarz and Wall in a tandem, just because they never really got off the ground earlier this year because of Wall's injury, and then now because Stolarz has been out. Wall, I mean, they both became number one goaltenders, but I'd like to see them as a 1-2 punch. So that's my yes guy. How about you?
That is, I don't know if I can top that in terms of what I'm looking forward to in the next, after the break. That has to be the top of the list. Joseph Wall has been excellent, and yet Stolarz' numbers far superior, but Stolarz has missed a lot of times. 28 games for Wall, 17 for Stolarz. And when Stolarz comes back, if that allows a little bit more rest for Joseph Wall, well, fantastic, because Wall is entering this new territory for him in terms of minutes and responsibility. Absolutely the number one thing you want to see. That was the strength of this team, was those two guys.
Yeah, and I think a no guy for me would be, with all due respect, Morgan Rielly's play, just because he's done it before here. He's done it in the playoffs, and everybody knows what he's capable of, and we're not seeing it. So that's a bit of a concern for me, but I am confident they'll fix that up.
And also on that, I know at the trade deadline, they're going to be looking at another defenseman. If they've got to give up a ton of assets just to try to make Morgan Rielly better, I don't want to say shame on Morgan Rielly, but it's Morgan, your job is to play so well that the team doesn't need to sacrifice a draft pick, an Easton Cowan, just to get you in a more comfortable place. Here's a yes guy for me. Well, the other thing I'm looking forward to, McMahon, Holmberg, and Robertson. Are we going to finally get a third line, a young, hungry line of guys that are trying to prove it? Nick Robertson's been trying to prove it all year. Bobby McMahon's been a healthy scratch. Pontus Holmberg has been a healthy scratch. It's guys, this is your chance. Every Stanley Cup champion is a third line that is an identity. This is an opportunity for you.
Oh, look, if Holmberg could find the net with any kind of regularity, that would be a big boost, wouldn't it?
Okay, it would. 2 goals in 40 games.
Yeah.
You know, Pacioretty, 14 games without a goal. Holmberg, 14 games without a goal. Kampf, 14 games. Has 1 goal in his last 14. And Domi, 19 straight without a goal. But yes, for guys like the Holmbergs of the world, this is what you were brought in to do. And if it doesn't happen now, then it's like, all right, they're going to move on. They're going to find someone else.
Yeah, and it's not been made official yet, but it looks like Rielly OEL is the tandem with McCabe and Tanev, and Benoit and Timmins will confirm that at the top of the hour. But if OEL's in playing with Rielly, that's a good look.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely it is. Because what you want is your best defenseman, because when you have those injuries, what it does over and over is it puts guys in positions where they're being asked to do more than what is normally expected of them. And, having, no offense to Benoit and Timmins, but when those two guys are out there together, it can be a little bit scary. Having OEL with Morgan Rielly certainly eases the burden on that third pairing.
And it looks like Matt Murray will be the backup and not Stolarz. And I don't know if anybody was thinking that would be the case, but just putting it out there just in case you're watching it on TSN 4 and they pan down the bench and you see that Stolarz isn't there. He wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh, no. Well, the funny thing was, Jim, at the beginning of this morning, at the day, it's like we didn't even know about Stolarz. And then Stolarz was in. And then a moment it looked like Stolarz was going to play tonight. And now he's not. And now Matt Murray is here. I have to say to the Leafs coaching staff, do they ever think about us, Jim? Do they ever think about us, the media?
No,
you
please,
had to deal with that.
Please, don't do it.
Yeah. You had to deal with that at Leafs guy today. You're carrying that show. Yeah. And we're not getting all the information because the team's in Calgary, not Toronto.
Oh, that's just disappointing as heck, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really, they don't think about us. Shame on them.
And so did you fall off the couch when you saw the 3 goals go in 12 minutes on Saturday night?
Oh, my God. That was just, first off, what an incredible game. Let me ask you, and yes, I sort of did, but I mean, let's face it, it's Edmonton. This is a team that can score 3 at any given moment, at moment's notice. I give credit to Joseph Wall. Connor McDavid had 9 shots. That's a season high, and he made all those saves.
Okay, we're going to turn the corner and set up the opening faceoff for you in greater detail as Leafs Game Night continues on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with
What's up, hockey fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Maple Leafs game. Now's the time in the show to find out where Leafs Nation is gathering from here on TSI, listening to the Leafs game, watching on TV, watching wherever you are, watching on YouTube, chatting it up, cheering our boys on. Let's go, Maple Leafs. Let's get the win tonight. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for letting us know where you're watching from, whether it's the United States, Canada, or all over the world. It's so much fun hanging out with you guys every single Maple Leafs game. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
At fitforless.ca and experience fitness simplified. Some conditions apply. Fit for Less. Everybody happy. It's a new year. That means new resolutions, new plans, and at Metro, new savings. The New Year New Savings event ends soon at your local Metro, where you can take advantage of great savings store-wide, including boneless, skinless chicken breasts for only $4.88 per pound, or blueberries for just $2.99 each, only until February 5th, plus hundreds of other great offers. Don't miss the New Year New Savings event. Shop now at your local Metro or online at metro.ca.
The road trip continues. The Leafs looking for the Alberta sweep, hoping for a better 60-minute effort and maybe not as much reliance on their goaltender. The good news is 3 goals in the first period Saturday night and 2 on the power play. They wouldn't turn that down again. So the question is, will the Leafs steal the cards tonight or fall victim to the Calgary shuffle? Well, let's find out. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Oh, they certainly do. Welcome to Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. Jim Taddy and Matthew Cause with you. Joe Bone and Jimmy Ralph will take over in about 5 minutes or so. The starting lineup for the Leafs goes like this. Austin Matthews between Domi and Knies. Tavares between Nylander and Pacioretty. Holmberg centering Robertson and McMahon. Camp centering Reeves and Lorentz on the blue line. It is confirmed OEL and Morgan Rielly. McCabe and Tanev another pairing. And the last pairing is Benoit and Connor Timmins. And Joseph Woll starts in goal. I really like this lineup. Obviously, Matt, you'd like to have Marner there. He's not there, but other people have to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, the Leafs had such a great record when Austin Matthews has been out, when other players have elevated their game. Well, now you've got to do this just a little bit differently. Marner missing his first game of the year, arguably the best player for the Maple Leafs all season. But it's like, okay, Max Domi, more of an opportunity. Morgan Rielly, more of an opportunity. Tavares came back for his first game against Edmonton. It's really just about everyone else realizing one of your best isn't in there, so everyone else has to elevate. Like, I look at this as a chance for all these guys to show that they can carry more of a load.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, it's up to the rest. Obviously, Max Domi plugs in and has had success doing that before. Tavares and Knies and Pacioretty are back. Those are nice adds, and the challenges for the bottom six to start generating some offense too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect much from the Lorentz, Kampf, and Reeves line, but it is that third line. And we've seen Bobby McMahon. Now, usually when McMahon is scoring, he is on a higher line. Now you're asking Bobby, can you be productive with fewer minutes and less talent around you? So that's something, to keep an eye on. Same thing, Nick Robertson, who always felt like he deserved more. It's like, well, if you feel like you deserve it, you have to produce. And then the other side, I'm excited just to see Joseph Woll again. What do we get after just his best performance of the season? Single game NHL career high in saves against Edmonton. As we mentioned before the break, he was able to face 9 shots by McDavid. Gets another a chance tonight, and also gets the team nowhere near as offensively gifted as the Edmonton Oilers, taking on the Calgary Flames. Jonathan Huberdeau, Kadri, guys like that. But as for Woll, it's like, all right, this is another chance to show you deserve to be the number one guy, because very soon Stolars will be coming back.
And just a quick thought on Calgary. Farabee plays on the top line. Morgan Frost is centering the third line, and their goaltender is lights out. And this team is fighting big time to stay in the playoffs. And nobody thought they'd be there, but there they are.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's true. And also Jonathan Huberdeau, fastest to him scoring 20 goals to start his season in 52 games. Huberdeau, I mean, we talk about guys wanting chances, opportunities, and reinventions. Huberdeau, we saw him crash and burn his first year with the Calgary Flames. Good to see him doing better, but for them to hold on to that last wild card, they're going to need more from him and some of the other forwards.
The opening faceoff is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
SiriusXM NFL Radio's coverage continues before Super Bowl 59. Hear an all-access pass from New Orleans as we talk with Hall of Famers, Super Bowl legends, and the stars of the NFL.
I'm going to lay it on the line. It gets to the playoffs. It's win or go home.
Our panel of experts will get you ready for Super Bowl 59 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hear coverage of Super Bowl 59 all week on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA. Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us. And I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada Face-Off Associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
You know, we're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
You know, with the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy. He's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came, add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe, you decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out of me being let go. And the more I got to know Tom and his vision for the team and seeing the situation, it was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Ward Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs and the Calgary Flames about to take on the second game of a road trip for the Maple Leafs on this western swing. And the starting lineups are brought to you by Molson, the official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Joseph Woll gets the call in goal for the Maple Leafs. And at the other end of the rink, it's the young hotshot rookie Dustin Wolf. As a shot rings wide of the Leaf goal as we're underway. The Leafs defending the goal down to our left and the Flames to the right. Flames get a turnover and get a shot in on goal by Huberdeau, and that went wide. Played back to the blue line, but it's going to escape as Jake Bean couldn't keep it in. Flames in their red jerseys as they intercept a pass the Leafs do, and now Tavares getting it down into the zone. He's taken off the puck, and it is shot down the ice by Calgary, but there's no icing as it went off a stick, and going back to retrieve it is Morgan Rielly. Leafs with an exciting victory against the Oilers the other night, as it's cleared down in on goal, and Wolf will play it along the boards, and it's knocked out at center ice. Mitch Marner not in the lineup for Toronto. But Oliver Ekman-Larsson is, which begs the question to be asked. Oliver Ekman-Larsson missed most of the second half of the game, and Mitch Marner was in Joseph Woll's grill celebrating at the end. So the decision or whatever is ailing Marner is obviously a closely guarded secret,
and he's not in the lineup for one reason or another. First game he has missed this season. Backlund getting it ahead. Flames get it down into the Toronto zone. Wall out of the goal, playing it into the corner. And it is played up off a stick through center ice and down. And here's Bobby McMahon breaking it alone. And a big save, the rebound. Trickles to the goal line. And a big pile up there.
Boy, Bobby McMahon, very similar to a goal he scored in Toronto against the Edmonton Oilers, when he simply puts the afterburners on and then walks in on a breakaway, but got in a little tight on Wolf. By the time he picked it up, it was about right at the hash marks. But Wolf stayed with him, and then Pontus Holmberg very nearly chopped the rebound into the net, but Wolf keeps it out, and the best scoring chance to start the game comes from the Leafs.
Tyson Barrie was the defenseman who McMahon just blew past. Best scoring chance for either team so far. There's a shot that Wolf is going to take chest high, and he's going to hang on to it, and there'll be a faceoff coming in the Calgary zone. Got to be one of the three finalists for the Rookie of the Year if his statistics continue to be as impressive as they have been.
And you know what? His numbers are very similar to Jacob Markstrom, who went to New Jersey in the offseason.
I'm betting at a lot less money.
For now? Yes.
Yes.
19-9-2 coming into this game. He's played 6 fewer games than Markstrom. Markstrom's got 21 wins.
Tanev rings the boards with it to McMahon. He goes rink wide, brought on now by McCabe, and he'll shoot it into Calgary territory. Nick Robertson couldn't slow it up. Sharon Govich got it out for Calgary, and the Leafs regroup at their own blue line. On to Seattle on Thursday. And then, yippee, an early game in Vancouver for all of the Vancouverites who will get their shorts in a knot. A centering pass knocked away by Wolf, and it's cleared out into the center ice area. Brought on and in over the line by Kevin Rooney. Rooney gets it in. Oliver Ekman-Larsson played it up the boards. It's knocked back to him in the corner. He'll try the other side with Morgan Rielly. And Rielly with a backhand pass to get it up on the right wing. And Ryan Reeves into the lineup tonight in place of Marner. Sends it down into the zone, but the Flames bring it right back up. A long shot deflected off the body of Wall, goes into the corner. Wall and Wolf. I'm going to get this mixed up. I know it. Brought to center ice now by Benoit. He'll shoot it into the Calgary zone. A lot of Leaf jerseys in the lower bowl in the Saddle Dome, the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. A lot of transplanted Torontonians in Western Canada, and the oil industry has a lot of them out. There's a wrist shot taken by Huberdeau, went wide of the goal. Nylander got it ahead for Tavares, who knocks it down into Calgary territory, and Uyghur is back there to recover it. Tripped up by Tavares, penalty call probably coming. I think John just apologized to him.
It almost looked like, out of frustration, Uyghur was down. It almost looked like he was going to give him the axe chop to the top of the head. But what happened was John Tavares overskated the puck, went past Uyghur, and then stuck his leg out. Uyghur went down, and that's a long way from your own net to take a penalty, so the Flames will go to the first power play of the night.
He stuck his foot out trying to get the puck to kick the puck, and instead he got the feet. And the penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks.
Calgary power play's been better of late. 7 for 19 in their last 6 games. Leafs finally had a clean game in the penalty kill against the Oilers. 2 for 2 in the kill.
Loose puck far corner and swept out into neutral ice by Knies. Flames go back to recover it. Slowly bringing it out now as the drop pass gets to Coronado and across the line. Played around back of the net. Cut off there by Jake McCabe in a maze of skates. Tanev couldn't dig it free. It comes back to the point. Walking the line with it is Uyghur. Mackenzie Uyghur to the left wing side. Huberdeau holds. Down low, centering pass. Knocked away by the Leafs into the corner. And it is swept off the boards and out and down the ice. And Uyghur will have to go back for it. No score here in the first period. Glad you're along with us. Second of 4 games on this Western trip before the break. Brought in on the right side by Calgary. Intercepted by the Leafs and just out into the center ice area play. Uyghur will try the left wing side for Huberdeau. He leads the Flames in scoring. Over on the right side for Nazem Kadri. Kadri gets it down into the corner. Played it back on the left wing boards. Trying to hold it is Morgan Frost, newly acquired. Back to the point, and it gets past Tyson Barrie and comes out at center ice, and the Flames have to go back. 46 seconds left in the power play. Barrie, who was traded to Toronto in the Nazem Kadri deal. In across the line, pass broken up. Leafs get a chance to clear, but don't. And then McCabe gets a nice little 2-foot drop pass and gets an angle and sends it out and down the ice. 20 seconds left to go in the penalty. Barrie coming out, dropping it off now for Sharon Govich. Up on the right side, played in over the line by Rasmus Andersson. Around on the near boards for Blake Coleman. Back to the point to Barrie. Shot coming high over top of the goal. McCabe got it freed up in the near corner for Tanev, and he makes a great effort to get into the corner and get that puck out and down the ice to end the penalty, as the Leafs have outshot Calgary 5-1 at this point. The Flames didn't get a shot on goal in that 2 minutes of man advantage time, and an icing call here against Calgary will bring it back into the Calgary zone, and the faceoff will be brought to you by Alpine Credits. Do you own your own home and need a loan? Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca.
Oh, did Chris Tanev come back and play with Dallas against the Calgary Flames at the end of last year? Not sure if there would be a video tribute or if this is his first game since leaving Calgary at the deadline last year. I'll give you some of the names from the start of last year for the Flames to now. It's incredible.
Turnover?
The star players that are gone.
Here's Nylander in the slot. Got a shot away, but it went off a body and went wide. Kept in by Ekman Larsson. And now the Flames are going to flip it to the line, but not out. Nylander able to keep it into Tavares. Closing! The shaft of his stick goes flying, and the blade went further than the puck when he tried to shoot it.
How's your game going so far?
So far, John's not having a good night. Has a new stick, though. Got it into Morgan Rielly. Rielly in the left wing corner trying to center. Bounces into the net. Tavares was in front. I think he got a piece of it, but a Morgan Rielly shot from along the goal line ends up in the net. The Leafs have a 1-0 lead.
How's your night going so far?
It's picked up.
John Tavares takes a penalty, breaks his stick on a shot attempt, goes to the bench, gets another one, does a great job to keep the puck in at the Calgary line. That was on the broken stick. And then a great entry coming in after that, getting a new blade. And Morgan Rielly just throws it to the net. I think on the rebound, Joe, John Tavares bunts it out of midair.
Oh, that was fairly high. I don't know. We better wait on this one.
The Flames are going to be looking at this.
The one shot looked like it went off the mask of the goaltender.
But I think now is the mask above the goal?
That's
crossbar. Yeah.
Well, they're
right
looking
now,
at it.
Looks like Ryan Huska is going to look at it. Boy, it loops over his head and into the net.
Gonna have to get a better angle. This might be
the best one. That looks.
Yeah,
like
I think it's high. I think it is too, Jimmy.
All right, how's your night going so far? John Tavares, a lot has been going on.
Well, now from the side angle, it looks like it's fine. Yeah.
Referee was right there along the goal line and called it a good goal originally. But obviously they're going to look at it. They are looking at it. And this is our best angle that we're seeing right now.
Does he? I don't even know if he touches the puck. You know what?
Yeah, I think he does get a piece of it to propel it over Wolf, but I don't know.
That's the other thing they have to look at. Did he, in fact, touch the puck? Yeah. Or was the centering pass from Rielly off the mask and then flipping up and into the net? Yeah. Or if he did touch the puck.
Now here we're going to see if he touched it on the overhead. Well,
I don't think he did.
did.
Well, he gets the mask.
He gets the mask.
So does that become goalie interference?
Then they have to call another timeout.
Oh boy, we saw. I was watching the game the other night.
This has got a lot of variables attached to it. Your point is well made. Although, did he interfere with the goaltender trying to make the save?
Now, what they can
did he impede him?
Yeah, now, what they could do is if they say we've reviewed it and we say it's not a high stick, Calgary can challenge. If they're not the one instituting this challenge here and say, okay, goalie interference.
Yeah.
And Tavares is in the blue paint. Boy.
This is an interesting.
If it's the high stick,
you have an argument for both.
Yeah.
Cases here, no question.
But if it is a high stick,
then it's. I don't know as he touches it though. I really don't, because it doesn't seem to
the one
change.
angle though, Joe, I don't know if you can say distinctly that his stick was above the crossbar.
No,
no,
because Uyghur is down. He's down, right? His head is below the crossbar when this goes in.
Yeah. We're going. His head is just below. Oh, wow! That's. I don't know if it's distinct enough to overturn that it was a high stick. Now, in that angle,
I honestly don't know if he touched it. To be honest with you, Jimmy, I really don't.
Goodness. All right. Now we're zooming in on the overhead. It goes off the forehead.
I don't know.
Smacks him on the forehead.
I know he hit his forehead. He hit the mask. I agree with that.
Boy.
I don't know if someone has made a decision. And here we go. Chris Lee.
After reviewing the play, it was determined that the puck was struck with a stick above the height of the crossbar. Therefore, we have no goal.
All right. Well, sort of the ice level looked hard to tell, and then the overhead looked like it was a high stick. But either way, John Tavares has had quite a
couple of shifts.
6 minutes and 30 seconds to start the game. Takes the penalty, breaks his stick on a shooting opportunity, and has a goal called back.
I don't believe the Flames.
It was a league challenge?
It was a league challenge, I think, and rightly so. But I'll tell you what, that's as close as damn is to swearing on both sides, right? So it's still 0-0. It took a few minutes, and it had to. I think that's the longest one we've had.
Flames now, most goalies, they go down on the butterfly, their heads above the crossbar.
Yeah. Played ahead at center. It rolls to the lead zone. Morgan Rielly playing it around back of the net for OEL. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson sends an alley-oop through center, just missing Max Domi, who's on the line with Matthews. Matthews squeezes down the boards and gets it in over the line. Centering pass in front of the net for Domi. Went off a skate and comes back into Toronto territory. Robertson. Nifty move to gain the zone. On the wing for putt is Holmberg. Holmberg goes around back of the net. Bank pass to the blue line and a quick shot towards the goal. Went wide. Tanev corrals, gets it over on the left wing side. McCabe can't shoot it at the net, but gets it down into the corner. Holmberg battling in there with Kadri. Puck along the boards. Kadri couldn't come out with it. Backhanded in along the wall now for Robertson. Centering pass, and it's on goal and caught by Dustin Wolf. And he's going to hang on for a face-off in the Calgary zone. We've had a little bit of everything here to start this first period. With 12:24 to go, it is scoreless. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sirius XM's Super Bowl 59 radio brings you closer to the biggest event of the year as the stars of the sports and entertainment worlds converge in New Orleans. We'll be covering it all.
Superstar Kenny Chesney, Patrick Mahomes.
And it's the only place to hear the game plus the Apple Music halftime show starring Kendrick Lamar.
Get the whole world talking King.
Your ticket to everything happening in the Big Easy is Super Bowl 59 radio, channel 106 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
What's up, hockey fans? How we doing tonight? Thank you for hanging out with us once again for another Toronto Maple Leafs game. Please hit that like button down below. This is your nightly reminder. please hit the like. It helps us bring more hockey fans here to the chat to cheer on our Maple Leafs while we go to get another 2 points. Thank you for being here as well. Another special instruction that I will save for a special guest. Take it away, Joe.
Share the link of this YouTube live stream on social media to help bring more football fans to our amazing community, changing the world one insider at a time.
To start for Inter. Haaland scores the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Chris Tanev getting a welcome back tribute by the Calgary Flames at the Scotiabank Saddledome.
The other players gone from the start of last season.
You're going to tell me.
Andrew Mangiapane, Jacob Markstrom, the goaltenders in New Jersey, Tanev, Noah Hannafin, Nikita Zadorov, and Elias Lindholm. I mean, that's
a lot. That's a big turnover.
Yeah. That's why many thought that the Flames would not be in the position they are in right now, which is a playoff spot, the last wild card spot in the West.
Flames get it out at center. Kadri couldn't get it in over the line. Tanev got knocked down. Here's a chance. Huberdeau! And that went off the pad of goaltender Joseph Woll. Good save. Leafs are able to tip it out at center. Played up on the right wing for Nylander. Now to Tavares. Tavares tried to make a move to get around the last defender in Joel Farabee and had it knocked off his stick. Kadri across the line for Calgary. Looks to center the pass and does. A shot. Block. Rebound. Scores. Farabee off to the side. Gives the Flames a 1-0 lead.
John Tavares saying something to the officials the other way, but the Leafs give up a lot of time and space on the right wing side that allows the Flames to walk in and fire one at Joseph Woll. It was in the scramble after that it got behind the Leaf goaltender and into the net. But Joe, the right point was wide open. And Farabee, brought over from the Philadelphia Flyers as is not only his first point, first goal as a member of the Calgary Flames. Morgan Frost scored Sunday in Seattle for his first point. And the Calgary Flames have struck first here.
9th goal of the year for the former Flyer. And as you mentioned, the first in a Calgary uniform.
Now, are the Leafs going to challenge on this?
To determine if there was goal interference prior to the goal.
You know what? I'm getting tired writing all this down on my scorebook and then having to stroke it out. Well, Farabee. Farabee was in the crease. There was a scramble. It was a scrambled play. And is it Huberdeau? I don't see an awful lot.
I don't see any goalie interference there.
No, neither do I.
I mean, he is in behind. Now we're going to get the overhead.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, Huberdeau's stick.
Oh, yeah.
Huberdeau's stick gets into Woll.
And is that enough?
Well, the Leafs are 4 for 4 in this department. None bigger than the other night with 6 attackers on the ice in Edmonton. So
did it interfere with Woll trying to get back? I think what hurts the Leaf on this challenge, Joe, is I don't think Joseph Woll knew where the puck. Well, he is turning for it.
Yep. Jordan Bean and Sam Kim have been perfect this season on these, and they have decided that this is enough. The stick gets to him, and yeah, it does. Well, it prevents his pad.
It was on the initial shot.
Initial shot, yes. Yeah.
It looked like it was almost into the blocker, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So it was Jonathan Huberdeau who's looking up at the scoreboard saying, I didn't do anything.
Well,
yeah, when I thought it was before the puck was put into the net, like just before Woll was trying to search for it, but it was on the original shot that it appeared Huberdeau got his stick into the blocker of Joseph Woll, and that's exactly where the puck went, blocker side, and Woll was unable to kind of trap it or knock it away. Of course, they're playing the Beatles' Let It Be in Calgary.
Well, yeah, that's clever. I like that.
The Toronto coaches challenge determined there was goaltender interference. Definitely have a
Well, I'll just run a line through that one, too. All right, fine. So, instead of 1-1 or 1-0, it's still 0-0. And both teams have had a goal called back. One for high stick, the other for goalie interference. And the boys in the booth are 5 for 5.
Well, none bigger than the Draisaitl goal in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah.
Being called off, Sean Klingberg being offside.
Well, played out at center ice. Leafs come up with it, get it back in. Flipped in by Steven Lorenz. Lorenz poking it around back at the net. Reeves had it in his skates, didn't see it. It comes free now to Camp. Camp trying to slide underneath back of the goal. Caught it freed up there as it comes back to the point to Tanev. D to D, just tipped in then by the Leafs because there was so much pressure. And against the boards now, trying to come out with it. Now back of the net is David Camp. Camp double team, played it back on the boards. McCabe sends it back from whence it came. Back of the net now Lorenz. Good shift here by the fourth line to keep it down in the Flames zone. One of the Flames lost his stick. Lorenz getting it back to point. McCabe a shot. That is blocked. And it'll be pushed out at center ice now, and a race for it as Lomberg comes in on the left wing, and a fairly weak shot handled easily there by the Leaf netminder. Leafs will play it out into center ice, and a change starting here as Rasmus Andersson has to go back to retrieve it. In a moment, when we get a chance, I'm going to build a case for my friend Morgan Rielly and his plus-minus situation. Played out at center ice. Timmins playing it back in his own zone for Benoit. Lead pass at center to the line, and the Flames are back in their own zone. Joel Hanley got it ahead at center. Back checking was Timmins, but the puck comes back into the slot. Good effort there by Knies to deny the trailer to get a shot away as it goes back into the corner for Backlund. Centering pass deflects into the far corner. Back to the point it'll come. Kept in by Calgary. Looking to the near side and finding Bean. Bean works into the corner. Back to the point again. Trying to get a shot was Weegar. That was stopped by Wall. And the Leafs' Domi is going to push it ahead. And Knies skates to center. He's got Matthews with him. Matthews takes the pass. Matthews still with it. 388 goals. Just one behind Daryl Sittler. In along the boards. Trying to get a shot away. Now centered in front for Rielly. Trying to get an angle to send it to the net. When he did, it went wide. Cleared off the glass to the line, but not out. Good play by Oliver Ekman-Larsson in front. Pontus Holmberg unable to make a pass, but Robertson steals it back. Robertson into the corner for Rielly. A shot. That's deflected off the goaltender, Wolf, and up into the screen and out of play. Break in the action, and then I am the defense attorney. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations.
Cheers, Insiders! Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs game. A big shout out to all of the Insiders here in the chat and everybody that's watching here on YouTube with us while we listen to the Leafs game. The best call in the business, Mr. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. No better call ever, in my opinion. Thank you so much for being here every single night. And you are making a huge difference in our community with SickKids Hospital. The amount of donations that we are seeing in the football frenzy is absolutely insane. Thank you, Leafs fans, and thank you, Insiders. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go, Leafs, go!
Everybody happy.
This product may not be right for you. Read product label and follow directions.
Tired of thinning or receding hair? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, the Hair Grow supplement is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. It's a new year and the perfect time for a new you. Start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available at Costco, Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, Loblaws, and London Drugs, or online at Amazon and newnordic.ca.
No one wears the Maple Leaf more proudly than Morgan Rielly. He has been with this team for a long time. Yes, we know about the plus-minus situation. Chris Tanev is plus 14. Jake McCabe is plus 13. Oliver Ekman-Larsson is plus 15. Morgan Rielly's minus 19. 13 of those minuses have come when the Leafs were trying to score with an extra attacker and an empty net goal is scored. I agree. He's probably not having as good a season as he has had in past, but that is a lot. The Leafs play a lot of really close games. They score a lot with the empty net.
They are minus 11. They've only scored once, 6-on-5 with the goalie pulled, and they've given up 12.
So
that plays into it.
Yeah, I think it does.
But then, I guess you look at Nylander being minus 2, John Tavares coming into the game. Tavares is plus 4, Matthews minus 1. But they all would have been on the ice at the same time.
Yes, they would have. Yeah,
Matthews would be plus 8, plus 9.
Forwards should score more than the defense, and the Leafs defense does not score at all.
Oh.
At any rate, I like Morgan a lot, and his dad is one of my favorites. So I'm the attorney for the defense. Brought on by Calgary. Kadri with a shot. Blocker save made by Wall. Tavares stick handling in through the blue paint. Decides to start out with it now. Yeah. John gets to center.
I don't think things are going that well for John.
No.
Game.
No. Might think about that before he tried that. Flames turn it over and get it out at center. Huberdeau will get it down into the Toronto end. 6-5 are the shots. Each team has scored a goal, and each time it has been video reviewed and canceled. Domi gets it in over the line. Shot by Timmins goes off his stick and caroms up into the screen and goes out of play. Now, when we traveled and we got to go on these Western road trips, which was always a lot of fun, especially when Wendell Clark was on the team and his parents were alive, and we got to hear the plight of the Canadian farmer while Les was driving the biggest truck that you saw. But which rink did you think had more Leaf fans in it?
I would say very close, Calgary or Vancouver.
I always thought it was Vancouver. I thought more Torontonians were displanted maybe in Vancouver, but yeah, you're right. But there's a lot, and there's a lot in the building here as we watch in Calgary. And a penalty coming to Toronto for a hook. Hanley will go back behind his goal to get a 6-attacker opportunity organized here. Hanley to center. Leafs would have been able to make a change. They got Lorenz on there as a defensive forward along with David Camp and Knies. It'll be swung around the boards to the far side. Tipped by Kadri. Back to the blue line. Stolen and touched by Timmins. And by Lorenz. And it is Timmins, I believe, was going to the penalty box.
Yeah, little bit of a weak one. I think Blake Coleman did the right thing. He felt the stick there and then clamped down on it. For Timmins, he's only got one hand on his stick as he's trying to poke the puck away from Coleman. Coleman feels it, puts the clamp on, and there's a guilty verdict for Connor Timmins in the second power play of the night for the Calgary Flames.
Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Leafs lose the draw. The puck comes out in front of the net. Big save by Wall. Bouncing puck to the side. And then shot into the stands.
That's Jake McCabe is going to give the Calgary Flames a 5-on-3 for 1:52. And lots of time, Joe, and lots of space, right?
Yeah, he
must have just flipped on him as he was trying to clear it.
Leafs have been 2 men short for 3 minutes and 2 seconds this year on 3 occasions. They've yet to give up a goal. But a good save by Wall, a rebound to McCabe, and there was a Calgary stick there, but McCabe didn't argue the fact it did not touch the Calgary shaft. And into the stands it went. So here we are. A huge opportunity for the Flames with a 2-man advantage. And the draw won by Calgary. Kadri doesn't shoot it, drops it back to Uyghur. They play it into the corner. I think Nazem Kadri should have shot that. You know, you think we got a 2-man advantage. We can move it around here. And the best chance you got was right off the faceoff.
Yeah, Calgary scored twice, 5-on-3 this year.
Played in across the line. Kadri getting it back to the blue line. Uyghur sends it off on the right wing side, gets it returned. Looks for Kadri, gives it to him in the far circle. Back to Uyghur, fakes the shot. Kadri gets the pass, now down low for Huberdeau. Back to Kadri, closing, shooting, and that deflected wide of the Leaf goal and comes around to the near side. Uyghur gets it back at the blue line once more. To the left wing side, good block there by Tanev. And Tanev is going to get it out and down the ice. This is a recording.
Calgary fans have seen this before.
Brought out now by Kadri. Brought in over the line. Worked into the corner, 50 seconds in the 2-man advantage. Uyghur walks into the slot. Dishes to Kadri, far side. Left-handed shooter. Goes back to Huberdeau. They exchange positions. Huberdeau with a shot that was high and wide. Kadri gobbles up the rebound to get it back to Uyghur. Uyghur to the left wing side. Gets it turned back. Uyghur now to Kadri. Tip to Huberdeau. Back to Kadri. Fumbles it. Still has it. Back into the corner for Huberdeau. Centering pass. Uyghur can't shoot it. Down low once more. Back to Uyghur. Now to Kadri one time. Stop. Rebound. Stop. Scores. Finally. Chris Tanev blocked the shot initially from Matt Coronado, but the rebound was there, and the Flames opened the scoring 5-on-3. I think.
And they'll stay on the power play for another 16
Wait a minute.
seconds.
Can we not have this reviewed?
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. Those delay of game penalties and right off the face-off. Finally, the Flames get it to the net. And even though it's a 3-on-3 right in front, Chris Tanev, who did a great job blocking the first one, had the rebound pop right back out on a Coronado stick, and he puts it up and over Joseph Wall. And the Flames now out shooting the Leafs 8-5, have a 1-0 lead. Now they've got 25 seconds left in the second penalty, so it's still 25 seconds in the power play for Calgary.
Your rebound control's got to be better than that. Tanev's got to work on that.
But boy, about 2 or 3 more big blocks there.
Did he ever?
And then sort of a bad break that it bounces right back out
to him. Yeah.
Boy, why is there a delay? All right.
No, we're gonna play on, McDuff. Yep. We get the linesman dropping the puck. So, do we have all of the officials on the ice? Played down into the zone. Well, there's one. Brought out by the Flames. Through center. I think one of the ref. No, there he is. Okay. All right. We got everybody. Flames get it back into the offensive zone. Anderson works in with a shot. Oh, and a deflection. And Coleman had a great chance there to make it 2-0. Penalty is expired, and the Leafs trail by a goal. Flipped in over the line, and Lorenz won't be able to reach it. Calgary regroups the puck with Tyson Barrie. Barrie with a pass up on the left wing. In across the line. Kadri goes around back of the net, trying to play it up on the boards, and Knies ran into him. Now Kadri gets it back, but Knies took it away, and now the Leafs break the center with Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Tried to find Knies, but it went around back of the net. Tried to center, but he hit the back of the goal. Got it back now for Matthews, who swings it back to the blue line. Backhanded into the slot area for Domi. He didn't shoot it, and he had a chance. Played back now to Matthews. Matthews to Domi. His shot is whistled wide of the goal. Matthews swinging it around the boards far side. Here's Rielly coming off the boards. Gets it back to Domi, filling in for him at the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson just kept it in. A shot by Matthews was blocked. And now the Flames trying to play it out at center. Get it into neutral ice. Brought back now by Matthews. Drop pass for Knies to Rielly. And it's caught by Dustin Wolf. I'm not so sure that wasn't a high stick that Matthews knocked that puck down in the center ice area, but to no avail. 4:07 to play. First period, 1-0 Flames. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
I'm Katie Nolan, and I have a new podcast called Casuals. It's a podcast for people who like sports a normal amount. Casuals is a twice-a-week hang with me and my friends from across comedy, sports, and entertainment, where we talk about all the funny, weird, interesting stuff happening in and around the world of sports. So whether you're a diehard fan or just vaguely sports curious, Casuals is the podcast for you. You can find Casuals on the SiriusXM app, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Give it a try. What's the worst that could happen?
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Cameron Moore running the operation. Matt Cardadero trying to keep us on the air, and the Leafs are 8-1-1 in their last 10 games against the Flames.
Looked like they'd opened the scoring. That was called off for he knocked him with a high stick. Calgary had a goal called off for goalie interference, but then the Leafs taken 3 penalties in this period, including down for almost a full 2 minutes on a 5-on-3 that has the only Calgary goal of the game that counted.
That counted, yes. Good point. Puck in the Toronto zone. Against the boards, Frost trying to get it free, and it's poked out at center ice, but intercepted before it reached the Leaf forward, and it is shot right back down into the Toronto zone. Fed by Wolf, back of the net. He got it ahead, and now here's McMahon up on the left wing for Rielly, closing with a shot off the shoulder of Wolf, and the puck goes free, and now McMahon going around back of the net. Tried to play it back to Rielly, but it went off a skate, and the Flames' Kadri gets to center and gets it in over the line. Joel Farabee after the puck, but it comes to Rielly, who plays up on the wing for Robertson. Nifty little move to elude the check, and he comes to the line and in on the right side. On his backhand, tried to get to the forehand to get a shot, but it was knocked off his stick just as he was about to deliver it. Kadri and Weegar assist on the Calgary goal. A centering pass. Oh, that deflected just back to the point, kept in at the blue line then by Joel Hanley. Flames get it and then misfire on a pass to Rasmus Andersson, and it's all the way down into Calgary territory. Goal came at 14-16. And an icing call here against the Flames will bring it back into the Calgary zone.
Of course, another area where you really miss Mitch Marner is on the penalty kill.
He's two forwards that lead the league in ice time for their teams. Yeah. And you're right. Leafs win the faceoff. Shot goes wide and bounces into the near corner. Played to the line, but cut off by Domi. Got it in front for Matthews. Now to Knies, and had it knocked away just as he was about to deliver a shot from right in the slot. Leafs have had some good looks there, but haven't been able to get the shot away. Matthews, stick handles around 3, gets it across the line for Domi. Pass in, and Knies directed it just wide. Great feed from Domi. Knies back of the goal. You'll recall last year when Marner was out and Domi started playing with Matthews, they really caught fire. Matthews keeping the puck in. Bouncing disc, still free. Knies couldn't come up with it. Coleman now for Calgary will come to center. He gets to the line and in on the right side. Pospisil trying to get it back to the point and a shot. And that went high and wide to the net. Back to the blue line. Kept in there with a drive. That goes deflecting wide of the net. Calgary with 8 shots on goal. Toronto with 7. The Flames have had the first 3 power plays in the game. Hint, hint. Weegar goes back. Nylander got upended. Toronto fans hollering for a penalty, but none coming. Then a quick pass up for Willie. He couldn't handle it. It was in his glove. And it's back into the Flames zone as Tavares unable to come up with a loose puck. Flames get to center and across the line. Trying to get a shot away there was Sharon Govich. And it deflects and goes up into the screen. Out of play with 1:04 to go here in the first period. Austin Matthews playing in his 600th career game. 388 goals. One shy of Daryl Sittler, who had 389. And then it's Matt Sundin left on the list.
Put this in the out-of-town scoreboard. Tampa beats Ottawa 4-3, so the Senators take 2 points back. Washington over Florida 6-3.
Leafs have games in hand on Florida.
Yeah, and now I believe 2 on Ottawa, counting this one.
Flipped out at center for Reeves. Overskates the puck, and it's pushed back out at center ice. Now Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets in over the line. Into the corner is Camp. Rolled it in front. It comes back to the point off a leg and a shot. That deflected just wide of the near side. And Wolf was kind of out of position on that. Leafs get it across the line again for Reeves. He stops up, plays it around back of the net. Lorenz gets it back to the blue line. Lorenz gets it back into the slot. Oliver Ekman-Larsson a shot. That's blocked. There's a rebound. Leafs don't get it. And it'll be pushed out at center ice by Farabee. And Kadri comes across the Toronto blue line with it. Chased into the corner by Camp. Puck comes out in front of the net. Grabbed off by Lorenz. Lorenz wants to get a change going. Finds Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And OEL will start out from behind his goal. A long lead pass misfires, and there'll be an icing call against Toronto. That'll keep that group on with just 2.2 seconds left in the first period. We've had 3 goals scored, 1 that's counted.
3 penalties to the Leafs. None were well defending, where you would call them a good penalty to take away a scoring chance or a goal. Tavares gets a tripping call on the Calgary end. Timmins a hooking call, one-handed hook right at the Leaf blue line. And then, of course, McKay, the delay of game penalty, putting it over the glass in the penalty kill.
Which was the reason for the goal, as the horn ends the period. And the Flames will take a 1-0 lead into the dressing room after 1 period of play. Shots on goal, 10-7 in favor of the hosts.
Consider the power plays favoring the Calgary Flames in the first period. Not a terrible period by the Leafs. And 5-on-5 seemed to be the more dangerous team. And let's not forget the Bobby McMahon breakaway early in the first period as well. It didn't go.
So it is a 1-0 Calgary lead after 20 minutes. Jim Taddy and I think Anthony Stewart going to join him. We'll be along with our first period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on the TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Hockey lives here.
us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Get him on his stick! Score! Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
Canada Face-Off Associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February?
You know, we're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
You know, with the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy. He's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe, you decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out of me being let go. And the more I got to know Tom and his vision for the team and seeing the situation, it was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
And trail the Calgary Flames 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. TSN After 20 is driven by Subaru. Get out in winter with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Jim Taddy and Matthew Cause with you, wrapping up the first 20 minutes of play. Matthew, I thought the Leafs played well enough. The both goals that were called back were the right call, but I don't think I would have wanted more better scoring chances. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely it does. Austin Matthews, 0 shots on goal. And again, it's a small sample size, so Morgan Rielly did have 3. But the main thing is I never really noticed Austin Matthews out there. But what I wonder about, Jim, is the Leafs taking 3 penalties. And I thought, Bowen, they had a really good point about it, about how none of the penalties were ones where they were taking away a potential goal. The Tavares trip, the Timmins hook, the McCabe delay of game. And I wonder if those 3 penalties, how much of that just really hurt any sort of offensive rhythm for the Maple Leafs?
Well, yeah, and the goals getting called back is a rhythm buster too. I looked at oh, boy, I just did a blank job there. Okay, Morgan Rielly. I was looking at his shot total. Wow. So he had
3.
He had 3, but he had another 3 that didn't get through. I mean, he was their major offensive player in that period.
He was. And you know what? If you're looking for positives, that would be, I would say, the main one. I thought Woll was good. I thought at 5-on-5, the Leafs were the better team. But what's been one of the big conversation points the last couple of weeks has been about Morgan Rielly, the plus-minus, and all of that. He needed to do more offensively, and he did. He got the 3 shots. He looked good. He looked dangerous out there. But the best chance for the Leafs was like in the first 10 seconds, the Bobby McMahon rush chance with a nice save by Dustin Wolf. But no, it's a good point by you. Morgan Rielly looked better. But the Leafs, they never really had a lot of dangerous chances. Like how many times would you go, whoa, Wolf is really standing on his head. No. He's being challenged. I never felt he was being challenged for any sustained period of time.
Well, there was that one play, Domi to Knies, with about 2 minutes left that somehow didn't even get it.
Yes.
I mean, it was a shot wide, but it was a great setup. But yeah, that one and the McMahon one are the 2 best opportunities. And Morgan Rielly, I mean, that's all their offense right there.
It's a great point. Yeah, it was just under 3 minutes to go. Domi, great cross-ice pass near the corner of the net to Knies, and it It was off by a couple inches here, and maybe there could have been a better chance for Knies to convert. I thought that was a great pass by Domi, but, in the end, what are we talking about? We're talking about a great rush chance in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Domi with a great pass to Knies in the last 2.5 minutes. But beyond that, not much. And part of that's on the Leafs, and part of that's on the 3 penalties.
Well, and the one is a 5-on-3, which they're pretty well stapled into their own zone. And they had, a minute 52 to get that, and it happened with seconds left. And, they were just camped out. So that was going to go in one way or the other.
It was. That's one of those goals. At no point are you going to blame Wall on it. Wall did his job. Also, I feel bad for Chris Tanev. Before that goal was scored, blocks the shot in close, hops over, grabs the puck, and clears it. And then moments later, it's Coronado. And again, the first shot blocked by Tanev. And again, Bone with a hilarious line saying Tanev needs to work on his rebound control because the rebound off of the block went right back to Coronado, who had a wide open net. That's not on Wall. That's what happens when you have a 5-on-3 for nearly 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and the puck over the glass always burns you, and that thing just rocketed off McCabe's stick. Yeah, that sigh you just did pretty well sums up the first period, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Again, it's not like the Leafs were outplayed. It wasn't like they were outshot. They had some dumb mistakes, and unfortunately, they had 2 penalties within seconds of each other, and it's almost impossible to expect to defend for nearly 2 minutes at 5-on-3. But, and also, another guy I feel bad for is John Tavares.
Yeah.
Think about it early. He gets the penalty. Great job by the penalty kill in the first one. Not one shot by the Flames. Then Tavares, his stick is broke. Then he scored. But nope, the stick was high. No goal. Within a couple minutes, Tavares experienced a lot of highs and lows in the first 5 minutes of this game tonight.
Well, and that goal was called back because of the high stick, but it could also have been a high stick to the goalie's face. I never saw that as a good goal, unfortunately for the Leafs, but the call, it took a little while to get to, but it was correct.
It was correct. And also, hey, good on the Maple Leafs. I didn't realize they're 5 for 5 on coaches' challenges this year.
Yeah.
Wow. Joel Farabee scores, but nope. A goalie interference on Huberdeau, who's having a better year this year, but certainly a guy who's been fighting it since he got traded from the Panthers to the Flames. But there was his slight contact by him, and his stick got on Wool's blocker, so that one was called back. And really, in the end, that might have been, just in terms of excitement, was 2 goals called back. And by the way, the first one, what took so long? That felt like that took 10 minutes for them to figure that one out. I couldn't believe that took that amount of time.
I think they were trying to figure out what to focus in on to negate the goal because there were a couple things wrong with that. The thing I didn't like about the Flames goal that was called back was the ease that they skated down the ice, and that's on the Tavares, Nylander, Pacioretty line, and Coach Berube went right over to them on the bench, and they just pretty well let the Flames skate down the length of the ice.
Yeah, and it's the last thing you want to see. You're going to get goals scored on you. You want to make it hard. You want to make it difficult for the opponent. You don't want them to have all the time and space, and they certainly had it on that play. But again, Huberdeau negating it. The other moment, and I don't know about you, Jim, do you get wistful when you see Kadri on the ice as a Flame? I figure it's been way too long now that's passed, but he had an opportunity early on that 5-on-3 where he had tons of time and space, and he chose to pass instead of shoot. I thought that was an odd moment as well.
Well, clearly they had to trade him because of the suspensions in the playoffs, but they never really replaced him. Yeah. When you look back on that, he had scoring ability and grit, and they never really replaced that element. So that's a bit of a problem, but you have to move on. And, if you're going to move somebody out, then replace them, but they didn't do that.
No, they certainly didn't. God, we could relitigate that trade for hours and hours, but I know we don't have the time for it. But yeah, it's always weird whenever I see Kadri in another uniform, and I know it's been years, but there's always that one moment. It's like seeing an ex-girlfriend on Facebook, and guy, I remember her.
All right, Matt, thanks very much.
I'm keeping it PG. I'm keeping it PG.
We're eyes closed. This is Molson Canadian. Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum! Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Your sneakers are staring directly at you. You try to look away, but you can't. You're laced to face. They're saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, and your six-pack won't be either. But you've got to start somewhere. Stop staring. Put us on. Take that first step, or lunge, or squat. Start small. Start somewhere. Join for $7.99 every 2 weeks at fitforless.com.
Chicken breasts for only $4.88 per pound, or blueberries for just $2.99 each. Only until February 5th. Plus hundreds of other great offers. Don't miss the New Year New Savings event. Shop now at your local Metro or online at metro.ca.
This product may not be right for you. Read product label and follow directions.
Tired of thinning or receding hair? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, the Hair Grow supplement is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. It's a new year and the perfect time for a new you. Start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available at Costco, Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, Loblaws, and London Drugs, or online at Amazon and newnordic.ca.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra or RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. In the third period, Islanders 2-1 over the Golden Knights. Also in the third, Jets 2-0 over the Canes. Likewise in the third, Blues and Oilers tied at 1. After the second, it is Flyers 1-0 over Utah. Avs and Canucks are scoreless in the first. End of the first, of course, the Flames 1-0 over the Leafs, and the rest are done. Bruins 3-0 over the Wild. It was the Devils 3-2 in a shootout over the Penguins. Sabres 3-2 over the Jackets. Lightning 4-3 over the Senators. And the scoreboard just changed, so we lost one. There it is. The Capitals 6-3 over the Panthers. And coming up next, the second period in Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
Right. Fantasy Sports Radio is live from the Super Bowl this week. Kendall Valenzuela here from Fantasy Life. Join Adam Ronis and I tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern as we are getting you ready for Eagles Chiefs from a fantasy football perspective. From winning daily fantasy lineups to playoff leagues to prop bet advice, we have everything you need to win. Tomorrow, we'll talk to Marshall Falk, Sean Alexander, Jay Glazer, and more. It's Fantasy Life live from Super Bowl Radio Row tomorrow, 1 Eastern on Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate
with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick.
Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern
on NHL Network Radio,
SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Rielly, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs trail in the game 1-0 on a power play 5-on-3. With Coronado's getting his 14th from Kadri and Uyghur at 14-16. And the Leafs down 1-0 after a couple of periods. One of the interesting stats the Leafs have going this year is they have gone 21-0-0 when leading after 2 periods of play. But our friend Lance Hornby the other day in the paper said, got a ways to go because in 1977-78, the Canadians were 53-0 going into the third period. So that was fairly substantial.
That was the first 60-game winning season in the National Hockey League.
Leafs center for Nylander, can't shoot it, gets it back to Tanev at the point. Tanev stick handling with it, rings it back to the net now for Pacioretty. Pacioretty kicking it free for Tavares, trying to get it out in front. Nylander was there if they'd have been able to make a couple of foot pass and get control of the puck, but he couldn't. Now it's launched right back down into Flames territory. Leafs defend the goal to our right, and the Flames are to the left on your radio dial as it's shot down, and an icing call coming here against Calgary. Shots on goal favoring Calgary 10-7.
Pretty good start for the Leafs here at the start of the second period. Come out, and now you got Calgary 47 seconds in. Or what is it, 46 seconds in, out for an extended shift.
Face off in the Flame zone to the right of goaltender Dustin Wolf. Matthews wins the draw cleanly, back to Morgan Rielly on the wing now for Domi. He set it towards the net, but it was deflected wide by the goaltender. Now here's Domi in against the boards, back of the net for centering pass for Knies. That was blocked. Knies gets it again and is tripped up, and there's going to be a penalty here to Calgary. The Leafs are going to get their first power play opportunity as Mackenzie Uyghur trips up Knies going into the corner. And the power play brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealer. Enjoy winter to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today.
And absolutely no argument for Mackenzie Uyghur. He was the one that drew the Tavares tripping penalty in the first period. His time ahead goes down and right to the box. And we talked about missing Mitch Marner on the penalty kill. Well, his power play was 2 for 2 against Edmonton on Saturday night.
Tavares being waved out of the face-off circle, and so it'll be Matthews taking the draw against Backlund, and the Leafs win it. Back to the point to Rielly. Fed into the corner now. Matthews banks it back for Nylander. Cross ice to the far side, Tavares. Back to the point that goes to Rielly. Near side for Nylander, who mishandled the puck. He has to go and retrieve it. Works back to the dot. Stops. Centering pass. Blocked in front. And Knies trying to jam it home. But Wolf got his glove on top of it and stops play.
Downside of that play for Matthew Knies being a left-handed shot. He's got to stick away from the far post, so he's got to try to maneuver himself to be able to redirect it in. He scored 2 goals the same way in Edmonton. Point shots, rebounds in front. One by Knies, one by Bobby McMahon.
Tavares won the draw. Nylander on the near boards. Looks across ice. Now carries down the boards and into the corner. Centers. Tavares couldn't get to it. Rielly just did keep it in. Fed over on the near side for Nylander. Closing. Looked for the top corner, but the blocker come out by Wolf. Centering pass. Jam play at the goal line. And it's knocked out and down the ice by Calgary. Rielly will start right back up. Works to center, then drops the puck back. Brought on by Matthews. Matthews to the line and in for Tavares. Tavares got it back to the point. Nylander able to get it freed up for Rielly, who now goes down the boards but ran into a traffic jam. Puck is still free. Flames get it, and they're going to touch it out into the center ice area, forcing Nylander back into his own zone is Rooney. Nylander around back of the net. No Marner on the power play, so they are going with one defenseman. In on the left wing for McMahon. McMahon banking it around the boards. It's going to find the point on the far side. Ekman-Larsson sends it back. Centering past Knies. Near side. Scores! One-timer from Willie. Ties the game. That was a rocket.
And something we don't see a lot of on the Leaf power play is that one-timer. Either from Nylander in the left circle or Matthews from the right. But this time, a great entry by the Leafs into the Calgary zone. And it's Matthew Knies took the pass from Matthews on the far boards, right wing side. Matthews threw it out to the slot, and then Matthew Knies makes a great little move. He starts to go forehand, backhand, and then throws the backhand pass across from the right wing circle to the left wing circle, and that's where Nylander drills it short side to tie this game at 1 for Willie. That is 8 shorthanded goals on the year.
Power play.
Power play goals on the year and 7 goals overall in his last 9 games.
And his 31st of the season. Played around back of the net in the Leaf zone. Flames trying to come out with it. The Go Leafs Go chant you can hear from Calgary as it goes around the boards to the far side for Tanev, who gets it out. Nylander dropping it back. McCabe flipped it in and trying to make a move. There was Pontus Holmberg, but the puck got away from him. But there's going to be a penalty here for interference.
This is a weak call.
This is, I think.
This is, we're really sorry about the first 3. And, I mean, it's a dump and chase. And a little bit of interference on Holmberg, but
Turn in minor for interference.
Boy, now, you know what? You look at it again. It's Pahal kind of leaves his lane to run the interference on Pontus Holmberg. So the Leafs, who tied the game on the power play, go right back out there with the extra man.
And the power play is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Nice draw won by Tavares, kicking it back. Rielly cross ice. Matthews centering pass. Tavares backhand scores! Bingo, bango, bungo. 4 for 4 on the power play. Welcome to Alberta.
Tough first period for John Tavares, but here gets the puck in the slot, and he goes forehand, backhand, and beats Wolf glove side. Right in front of the Calgary net, but the best play, Joe, on this power play might have been the faceoff by Tavares.
I was going to say, he made a great play, didn't he?
Got it, and then kicked it back to the left point. And the Leafs very quickly, and you're right, 2 for 2 against the Oilers, now 2 for 2 against the Calgary Flames with the extra man. 3:17 into the second period, and the Leafs are up 2-1.
Tavares with his 21st goal of the season and his 8th goal on the power play. And the Maple Leafs have a 2-1 lead. Shot down into the Toronto zone. Swept around the boards by Wall. Comes back to the point. Anderson is able to keep it in for Calgary. Far side for Coleman. Coleman loses it, and the Leafs are breaking it out, but push it through center. Knies trying to get in on the attack, but was ridden off there by Anderson with a little bit of interference, but nothing called. Brought on in over the line by Backlund. Dropped it off, and Matthews up against the boards, knocks his man down. The puck is fed around back of the Toronto goal. Toronto 2, Calgary 1. Back-to-back power play goals for the Maple Leafs, who are red hot all of a sudden with the man advantage. Centering pass off a skate, and a shot went wide of the Leaf goal. Weegar keeps it in at the blue line. Played it off to his defense partner, who plays it down into the corner. Dug out there by Coleman. Back for Weegar into the slot. Bede gets it into the left wing side. A shot blocked in front of the net. And a penalty coming here as one of the Kadri is down face first on the ice. Not sure what happened. It was well behind where the puck was.
Obviously going to be a high sticking penalty.
Benoit looks like the guilty party.
We can't see Kadri's face. Doesn't look like there's any cut.
So the fourth power play of the game for the Flames coming here. They scored with a 5-on-3 advantage.
Yeah, it was Kadri just going to the net. And you know what? I mean, every power play, every penalty that's been called in this game, they've just been unnecessary penalties. Right?
Yep.
Trips, interference, high sticks, delay a game. Right now, the Leafs have the extra power play goal in this game.
So the face-off in the Toronto zone to the right. With Nylander and Tavares scoring, the Leafs have 6 players with 15 or more goals scored this year, which is the most of any team in the National Hockey League. It's the other areas, the third and fourth lines.
Bobby McMahon was the latest Leaf at the 15-goal mark.
Draw one by Calgary. Weegar off on the left wing side, trying to get it back again, and does. Into the slot area, back to Weegar once more. He walks the line. Goes to Kadri on the near half boards. Huberdeau's in front of the net, but they can't get him the puck. Knocked into the corner. Leafs then had it given away. Kadri up against the boards, keeping it alive. Centering pass, just tipped back to the blue line. Kept alive by the Flames. Off the skate, and it's going to clear to center ice. Good play made there by David Camp, who redirected his skate to deflect that out. Brought to the line and in by Frost. Down into the corner for Kadri. Swung back towards the blue line. Just kept in. Leafs then steal the puck. Huberdeau. Are the Leafs going to be 2 men short again?
I'm not saying that was is it an offside call or is it a penalty? Judging by Craig Berube, the Leafs are going to be down 5-on-3 for the second time in this game.
Huberdeau, and it's Lorenz going to the box. Wow.
We don't know what the call is. Oh, got the stick up. Took a swat at it. He was able to clear the zone. He got the puck away from Huberdeau, but Lorenz was sort of skating past him, and then the stick came up again. So another, just careless penalty.
Well, the Leafs in the first part of this season, shorthanded 2 men 3 times. Now, in the face of 2 periods, they've been shorthanded 2 men twice. Kadri to the near side. Drops it back now. Kadri gets it back into the corner for Huberdeau. He works out. Huberdeau into the slot. The one-timer is blocked. Chopped away by Camp, but they can't clear. Battle in the corner for it now. Camp unable to come up with it. Comes to the near side. Kadri back to Huberdeau. To Kadri on the near side. He walks into the slot. Can't shoot it. Still with it. Kadri looking down low. Huberdeau has it there. Huberdeau to Kadri again. Trying to get it around McCabe and can't. Deflected to the near boards. 38 seconds in the first penalty. Back to the blue line. Weegar on the right wing side. Trying to get a shot away. It goes down into the left wing corner. Still with it. Trying to come out. Coronado. Back to Weegar. Weegar into the corner now for Kadri. Kadri to Weegar. One-timer scores! 2 goals scored with 5 on 3. And every goal here tonight is a power play marker.
2 1-man advantages for the Leafs. 2 5-on-3s now for the Calgary Flames. And still plenty of time left now in the Lorentz penalty. Finally, Calgary passing it around. And finally, Mackenzie Weegar from the high slot. Just a one-timer, just out of the reach of David Kampf, who was reaching for it. No chance for Joseph Wall as that beats him high over the shoulder, and the game is tied at 2.
7th goal of the season for Weegar, his 4th by way of the power play. So the Flames have now had 5 power play opportunities, the Leafs 2.
And yet, all 7 penalties are horrific. I mean, they're not defending penalties, right?
Well, the delay a game isn't, that's for sure.
Oh, no, but they're all careless.
Yep.
Tavares tripping at the other end of the ice.
So it is a 2-2 tie. Puck comes back out at center ice, 50 seconds left, and an offside at the blue line. The referees, we haven't mentioned, Chris Lee is one of them, Corey Savret the other, Trent Knorr, and Caleb Applerston is the tandem for the linesman. And a 2-2 tie.
Right, with all the stats that are available nowadays, how many times have there been 2 5-on-3 goals, 2 power play goals, and 2 goals called back before the midway mark of a hockey game?
Take 5 minutes and find out for me, would you? I'm really interested in that.
5 minutes.
Someone on X should be able to come up with that information for us. Leafs get a turnover. Brought in by Pontus Holmberg. The Camp works in. It rolls in on goal. Scooped away by Dustin Wolf. Out come the Flames. 3 abreast across the blue line. Left wing side. Kadri trying to center. Knocked away, and it comes to the near wing. Coronado will play it around back of the net. It'll come to the point. Weegar keeping it in there. Weegar off the boards, partially blocked by Pontus Holmberg. Gets it again. Walks to the middle for Kadri. On the top of the circle, down low. 6 seconds left in the power play. Kadri holding, shooting off the shoulder of Wall. Leafs pounding it off the boards, but it won't clear. Coronado keeping it in. Holmberg couldn't get to it, but the penalized player's back on. Huberdeau sending it around back of the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson on the near side trying to muscle it out. Kadri is able to keep it in. Nazem Kadri's shot is swallowed up by Wall and held for a face-off in the Toronto zone. Flames have scored twice, both times 5-on-3. The Leafs have scored twice, both times 5-on-4. And it's a 2-2 tie. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars.
Hey you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Wait, where's the webcam button? There it is. Hey, what's up, Leafs fans? Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight here on TSI. We are going after that plaque right there. We're going after 100,000 insiders/subscribers. Thank you so much for being here with us, chatting it up, cheering on our Maple Leafs every single game of the season and the playoffs. Now let's get back to the hockey. Welcome to the new insiders. Cheers. And don't forget, turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live. We go live a lot of other sports as well. We'll see you back in the chat.
Call 1-800-288-4991. That's 1-800-288-4991. Let Consolidated Credit get you back to a debt-free life. Call 1-800-288-4991. Call toll-free today for a free consultation. 1-800-288-4991. Ontario license number 4705786.
Leafs 2 and the Flames 2. Power plays are red hot. All 4 goals coming with at least 1-man advantage. Flames goals coming with both of them with a 2-man advantage. Does that seem fair that your penalty kill statistic should not take that into account somehow? Shot goes wide off of
it.
Yeah.
Well, then power play's got to do the same thing.
Yes. No. I'll give you that, but Leafs poke it out at center ice. Pacioretty got it freed up, but unable to make a move with it was Tavares, and it's back down into Toronto territory, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson reverses the puck, and now Rielly gets it ahead for Tavares. Tavares on the right side for Pacioretty. Pacioretty knocks it down into the offensive zone. Tavares into the forecheck. Nylander trying to help out along with Pacioretty, who got knocked down. And the Flames get it up on the wing, and Sharon Govich gets it out at center. Trying to get across the line was Coronado, but he had his path blocked. The Leafs have it in front of their own goal, and there's Nylander stick handling through the blue paint and brought out at center. Nerves of a riverboat gambler. Played down into the Calgary zone. Anderson will play it out at center. Slashed in over the line. Benoit couldn't get it. Wall looks up ice, finds McCabe. He circles back, looks up ice, and banks it up ahead to try and find Knies, and Knies with Matthews to center. Knies gets it in deep. 11:14 to go in the second period, and the Maple Leafs and the Flames are deadlocked at 2 apiece. Shots are fairly even, 14-13 Calgary advantage. And an icing call coming against the Flames as it'll come back. Calgary building a new arena too, at least that. Not sure how far along they are at this point. But the Saddle Dome came into existence just ahead of the winter games that were out in Calgary so many years ago.
And you're getting older when you remember buildings opening and saying, boy, this is a brand new building. And remember that with, and I'm sure you do, with Joe Louis Arena.
Yeah. Well, it opened a year before I started. Now, I've not seen the arena in Seattle. We haven't been able to go out there, and we won't see the new arena, and as a shot is swallowed up by Wall in Utah this year when the Leafs play out there as well. So those are the only two arenas that now I shouldn't say that. I've never seen the one in Arizona that was played at the University of Arizona.
New York Islanders, new one.
Oh, the new one. That's right. We're missing a couple of buildings that we haven't been able to go to. But I always enjoyed the visual aspect of the Saddle Dome. We had great lines of seeing the great press box up at
Montreal
the Saddle
and Calgary,
Dome.
by far the best vantage points.
Draw rolls in on goal, and Wall has to jump on it quickly. And that'll stop play with a faceoff coming in the Toronto zone.
So when you saw Craig Berube's reaction in the second penalty to Steven Lorenz to put the Leafs down 5-on-3 for the second time, I think it was more out of frustration with his own players. I mean, you've got to be in control of your stick, and twice they draw penalties. Connor Timmins, one hand on the stick, and there's just Steven Lorenz, one hand on the stick.
Face off to the left of Wall. Draw one by Toronto. Fed around back of the net for Tanev. Up at center for Reeves. Across the line for Lorenz. Lorenz rolls it in front, and unable to get a tap at it there was Camp, and a big hit down in the corner. And who was that?
That was Ryan Lundberg on, was it McCabe on Lundberg or the other way around? Somebody's got to be getting the penalty as the whistle went. And I thought the Calgary touched the puck.
Well, McCabe went down the boards, and I think that hit was on Lundberg. Hopefully we'll get a replay of this.
I believe I just heard roughing penalty was the call. Jake McCabe is at the Leaf bench, so not being penalized. We will see it again. Oh, boy, yeah, it was a big hit by McCabe.
That was on Rooney, and then the Flames, Lomborg came in and flattened McCabe. So the Leafs are going to the power play for the third time in the game. And it's brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Leafs on the power play. Rielly at the point. Back to the side, and a one-timer by Matthews. Deflects off the goaltender and up into the screen.
Going to try to decide who's been better 5-on-5 tonight, but I don't think we've seen it long enough to make it a determination.
Longboard gets the penalty for Calgary. And it's roughing, and the Leafs win the draw again. Rielly to the near side to Nylander. His shot was wide. The rebound comes in front. They jam away at it, and it goes back in the net. Center and pass to the right side, and a shot by Tavares was stopped by Wolf. Gets it back to the blue line. Rielly walks to the middle with a shot. That deflected wide, but Nylander has it. Back to the blue line to Rielly. Over for Tavares. Tavares shooting, and Wolf is able to catch that. But boy, the Leafs are getting a lot of pucks to the net, and you got to like that.
A little extra confidence. You mentioned 4 for 4 now on their 2 Alberta games. Nice to maybe get a 5-on-3 for a while too, wouldn't it?
Oh, they're shooting it from all angles, and they're getting it through. And Wolf had to make a couple of good saves and then was able to swallow up the last one. Tavares lost the faceoff this time, swung by Anderson around the boards, and it gets past Nylander down the ice. Rielly back at the net will start out with it. Looks to play it up ahead. Tavares is going to drop it back, and now Matthews comes through center with speed and hits the line and gets in on the left wing. Tried to chip it into the corner and gets it back again from Tavares. Tavares tried to poke it back to Nylander, but it was intercepted, and out come the Flames at center ice as Knies gets back to take it away from the Flames player who heads to the bench. 45 seconds in the power play. Tavares dropping it back for Matthews. Matthews to the line, tried to flip it in. It goes off his stick and comes to center, and Knies then gives the puck away, and it's brought in on the left wing side, and a shot taken there by Pospisil was swallowed up finally by Wall, and there'll be a face-off coming in the Toronto zone.
Matthew Knies made kind of a high-risk play, just trying to get it back to his defense, but tried to go through the Calgary player, and it was picked off. Leafs will get a line change in here to finish out this power play. But it'll start with a face-off to the right of Joseph Wall.
And it is scrummed, but the Leafs are able to poke it free, and now McMahon drops it back. Oliver Ekman-Larsson will do likewise. McCabe gets it up on the wing. Played into the corner. He goes after it. McCabe swinging it back on the boards. Bouncing puck controlled by Domi. Back to the point. Ekman-Larsson a shot, and that was off the mark wide. Leafs trying to keep it in but fail, but able to get it back again in the center ice area. Backlund. Penalty is expired. Leafs 2 and the Flames 2. Long lead pass through center. Bounces down into the Toronto end. McCabe getting to the puck there against the boards. And David Camp scrumming it up as well. The puck finally comes free, but it'll be kept in at the blue line. Pahal plays it into the corner, and then McCabe took it back, and Lorenz will try to knife it out at center, and he finally does, but Camp can't help him get it into the zone. Brought right back in again on the right wing side. Down into the corner, a good hit along the boards there. Rooney couldn't come up with it. Back on the left wing side. Farabee looking for a man in front, but it was in behind Tyson Barrie, who's trapped. And the Maple Leafs have an odd man rush. Here's McMahon closing in. Scores! Rocket McMahon off the right wing as Barrie got trapped in the offensive zone, and the Leafs for the second time have a lead.
He may have one of the more underrated shots in the league. Bobby McMahon, left-handed shot coming down the right wing. Takes the pass from Steven Lorentz. It's a 2-on-1. Calgary defenseman slides to take the pass option away. So Bobby McMahon says, I'm going far side, and snaps it past Dustin Wolf to give the Leafs the 3-2 lead. I mean, he can snap it. You know, and we've already talked about his speed being maybe under the radar. Breakaway opportunity he had tonight. Scored a goal against Stuart Skinner and the Oilers in a similar fashion. Blowing past the defense, getting a breakaway. But here at an odd man rush shows the speed and the shot. Put the Leafs back on top.
Flames with a shot that deflects wide. They're giving the Calgary goal, their last power play goal, to Sharon Govich. Uyghur and Kadri getting the assist. We thought it was Uyghur.
Sharon Govich was right in front of the net.
All right.
And I think there was one angle that showed it might have just glanced off his glove or arm and past Joseph Wall.
But Bobby McMahon from Stephen Lorenz has responded to give the Leafs a 3-2 lead. Brought to center ice by Anderson and shot into the Toronto end. Bouncing puck in along the board's far side. Gobbled up now by Knies. He gets it airmailed high to center ice. Like a high stick making contact there, but play goes on. The Leafs get it in over the line, and Tavares hustling in on the boards, plays it around the wall to the far side. Shot by Pacioretty was stopped. He gets it again and sends it to the net. That's caught by Dustin Wolf and held for a faceoff. The goal comes at 12:28. McMahon 16th from Lorenz. And the Leafs with a 3-2 lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Bring home more from your in-car stations with the SiriusXM app. More than 200 streaming-only channels for every at-home activity. Music for kids, pets, even plants. Sounds for better sleep, breaking a sweat, and everything in between. Just search At Home to find it all with the SiriusXM app. At home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on your schedule with the...
What's up, hockey fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Maple Leafs game. Now's the time in the show to find out where Leafs Nation is gathering from here on TSI, listening to the Leafs game, watching on TV, watching wherever you are, watching on YouTube, chatting it up, cheering our boys on. Let's go, Maple Leafs. Let's get the win tonight. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for letting us know where you're watching from, whether it's the United States, Canada, or all over the world. It's so much fun hanging out with you guys every single Maple Leafs game. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
Wainwright, Alberta, not too far away from Edmonton, but in the province of Alberta. And that is where Rocket McMahon hangs his hat in the off-season, and he's enjoying his trip. I'm sure his parents, who made the trip to Edmonton to see the game, are in the Saddle Dome, and he has given the Leafs the lead by a score of 3-2.
First 5-on-5 goal of the night.
His goal the other night made it 3-0 for Toronto in the first period. Timmins to Rielly. Rielly got it ahead. Tavares, rink wide. Pacioretty dropping it back to the blue line. Shot by Ekman Larsson was blocked. He got a second opportunity. And a breakaway pass intended up the middle was deflected away. But then Wall misplays it, and the Leafs are going to help him out by just sending it down the ice. And an icing call will come.
First, it looked like Pacioretty might have been offside going into the Calgary zone. Then the Leaf defense got caught deep. Calgary misses a breakaway pass. And then Joseph goes all the way to Joseph Wall, who decides he's going to airmail it past somebody, and it gets knocked down. So that was actually just an icing call. It was a pretty fortunate outcome for the Leafs on that last 15 seconds of action.
My apologies. I didn't push the cough switch quite as hard as I should have.
I think you did, because it made you cough.
Brought in across the line by the Flames. They get it into the slot. Get another opportunity with it. And a wrist shot taken there by Morgan Frost was blocked. Morgan Frost, of course, the son of Andy Frost, who was the longtime PA announcer at Air Canada Centre. And a native of Aurora. Played down into the Calgary zone with 5:13 to go, and another icing all coming.
But I mean, there's so many great stories as you get older. Remember TJ Brody as a kid at the Leaf Skills competition?
Yep, I remember being on the ice.
Yeah, and then Morgan Frost. You know how many times we saw him sit with his dad, Andy?
Oh, yeah.
At the...
Hey, we went down to Niagara Falls to, what's the big lodge there?
Wolf.
Good, great Wolf Lodge, yes. With my son David and Morgan playing out in the water park. Yeah, some always great to see youngsters like that. And, of course, Max Domi a little closer to home with the Maple Leafs and being around the rink a lot with his dad. Now the Leafs poke it out into the center ice area. McMahon, nice pass to find Holmberg. Holmberg then mishandles the puck, and it comes to the line, but McMahon is able to keep it into the corner. Robertson centers, and it went off his skate and went wide of the net. Flames have sent it the length of the ice, and an icing call coming here. Second period brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Certainly miss Mitch Marner, but 2 for 3 in the power play for the Leafs so far tonight. And I don't even know if you consider Bobby McMahon secondary scoring anymore, do you?
No, I don't think you can you? Matthews keeping the puck in for Knies. Got it in front of the net and deflected it just wide. Domi gets the puck back at the blue line. Looks in front of the net. Comes to the left wing side to Jake McCabe. Back to Domi. Domi with a wrist shot that went off his skate. And Karam's all the way back out at center ice, and he goes back to retrieve it. A quick up goes off Matthews, stick into the zone. Wolf out of the net to play it around the boards. Blocked there by Matthews. Then Knies was interfered with and knocked down. A weak shot was gobbled up by the Flames. And Backlund has to go back after it with Knies battling with him back of the net. Played up on the wing for Lomberg, and he can't get out initially, and the Flames will have to regroup it back and deeper in their own zone. Played by Farabee out and down the ice, and out of the net is Joseph Wall. Wall finds Lorenz. Lorenz to Reeves. Reeves gets it out at center, but not into the offensive zone. Brought back the other way. Here's a chance now for Coronado to the far wing that was blocked. Grabbed off by Camp. Camp got it ahead. Reeves is able to backhand to center ice. Launched high into the zone again by Calgary. Coronado trying to get to it. Played by Benoit around the boards. Leafs are able to get it back out into the center ice area with 3:05 left to play here in the second period. The Leafs 3 and the Calgary Flames 2. Pushed into the Toronto zone. McCabe fans on a pass. Flames get the turnover. Frost setting it up outside, and a block made there by Jake McCabe. Good hit by Reeves to free the puck up initially, and he'll get it airmailed to center ice, and the Leafs will start getting a change going, and the Flames are going to do likewise. Morgan Frost gets it up on the right wing side. Sharangovich across the line on his backhand, goes wide and back of the Leaf goal. Sharangovich sending it back at the net, but it was out of the reach of Frost. Nylander gets the pass, and the Leafs start back with Timmins. Timmins looking back for Willie, but the pass was out of his reach. It's cleared back to the Toronto line, and Timmins is there again. Trying it again. This time he finds Tavares. Tavares launches it high, deep into Calgary territory. Intercepted now. Tavares with it on the far half boards. Centering pass off a skate. Grabbed by Nazem Kadri, and the London native will get it out into the center ice area to the Leaf blue line. Brought in over the line now by Huberdeau. Huberdeau dropping it back to the trailer, and the wrist shot is off the mark wide. Rebound comes up on the left wing, and the Leafs are breaking. Out at center ice with Nylander with one man back. Nylander in, scores! Willie gives the Leafs a 2-goal lead. Second of the game. 31st second of the season on the anniversary of his only hat trick. He has 2.
2 goals off the rush now. First McMahon and now Willie Nylander as the Calgary defense get caught again. And this is a 3-on-1. from the Leaf blue line. And Willie Nylander, like Bobby McMahon before, looks up, sizes up his options, and decides best opportunity is just for me to fire it to the net. He beats Wolf clean, and you're right. On this date in 2017, Willie Nylander had his only NHL hat trick in Boston against the Bruins.
Well, here we go again. Knies shoots it back into the Calgary zone. Domi down the boards, knocked down on the play, got back up to regain possession momentarily. Flames are able to launch it high to center ice. Minute 22 left to play here in the period. Leafs back in their own zone. Timmins flipping it high into neutral ice. Knies able to knock it down, drops for Matthews, shooting! That, I think, went off a mask. Yes, I think it went off the mask of Wolf as Matthews almost made it. Oh, wrong replay.
Almost made it 5-2, but the Leafs 3 goals in the first period in Edmonton, 4 in the second here in Calgary.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it.
What's up, hockey fans? How we doing tonight? Thank you for hanging out with us once again for another Toronto Maple Leafs game. Please hit that like button down below. This is your nightly reminder. Please hit the like. It helps us bring more hockey fans here to the chat to cheer on our Maple Leafs while we go to get another 2 points. Thank you for being here as well. Another special instruction that I will save for a special guest. Take it away, Joe.
Share the link of this YouTube live stream on social media to help bring more football fans to our amazing community, changing the world one insider at a time. Played down into the Calgary zone again. Robertson in pursuit. Pacioretty gets the lone assist on the Nylander goal. Lorenz the lone assist on the McMahon goal that opens up the lead. Here's Pontus Holmberg. Stick handling around, almost stick handled right through the feet of the official. Centering pass, shot taken by McMahon. Or rolled off the toe of his stick, never reached the net. McMahon getting it back for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg circles back, regroups the puck back into the corner, and it will be Oliver Ekman-Larsson looking up ice, making a move, lost the puck, and was able to just chip it out at center. And Ryan Reeves will send it in over the line, missing a hit, trying to get in on the forecheck, but it's reversed now for Mackenzie Weegar with 14 seconds left in the second period. Long lead pass up at center. Pullman couldn't get it out. Flames are back in their own zone. 5 seconds left in the period. Doesn't look like there's going to be much effort to push it up ice. And there is the horn that ends the period. So the Maple Leafs have a 4-2 lead after 20 minutes of play, or 40 minutes of play, looking to go 2-0 through the province of Alberta.
Now this sounds like a simple task, but they've got to stay away from 5-on-3s against, because that's all they've given up so far in this game to the Calgary Flames. 5-on-5, I think the Leafs have been the better team. I think they would take, Craig Berube would take a penalty-free third period.
21-18, the shots on goal, so 14-8. The Leafs outshoot the Flames in the second period. Anthony Stewart has made the broadcast. He'll be along with Jim Taddy when we return. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on the SiriusXM app and talk about all the EPL drama on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate
With Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick.
weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern
On NHL Network Radio.
SiriusXM 91 and the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us. And I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91 and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy, he's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe, you decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out of me being let go. And the more I got to know Tom and his vision for the team and seeing the situation, it was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on SiriusXM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter. Haaland scores the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada Face-Off Associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
We're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The best hockey lives here.
Marnes gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Brought in over the line now by Huberdeau. Huberdeau dropping it back to the trailer, and the wrist shot is off the mark wide. Rebound comes up on the left wing, and the Leafs are breaking. Out at center ice with Nylander with one man back. Nylander in, scores! Willie gives the Leafs a 2-goal lead.
And that's where we stand after 40 minutes. Toronto 4, Calgary 2. TSN After 40 brought to you by 241 Pizza. Give yourself a high five. Buy any large traditional pizza. Get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. 241pizza.com. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. Stu, welcome in. What a period that was.
It definitely was, and great job in weathering the storm. As I was delayed with the yes guy chopper, finally got dropped off. But what a great period that was, being down 1-0, and this Maple Leafs team maybe had every reason to fold. They got that goal called back in the first period by John Tavares, and they were losing momentum, but they just found a way to persevere. And it's really, really most impressive doing this on the road after a big game against the Edmonton Oilers. You do have a day off, and you had every reason to sort of come out a little bit flat. But they found a way just to turn the gas on, and great job with the power play. The power play has been a staple this last couple weeks, where it's not just getting the momentum, it's keeping the momentum, starting with William Nylander scoring his 31st goal, and 41 seconds, John Tavares. So those are very, very high-skill plays. But for me, that shot by Bobby McMahon to make it 3-2, just sort of, I was sort of, a little upset at Laurent. You're making a pass to the guy on his backhand, and just as I was about to say something, it's literally barred down. So that's a goal scorer's goal, and knock on wood, McMahon's probably looking to score 22 to 25 goals this year, and William Nylander putting the icing on the cake, I guess, for the period, not the entire game, scoring on that 2-on-1. So the Maple Leafs, very, very high octane. It was a little bit of a back and forth game. We heard Chris Tanev in the first intermission saying too many 2-on-1s, too many odd man rushes, too many penalties. They weathered the storm and found a way to come back and take over the game through 40 minutes.
Yeah, they did. I love the line. I mean, I like all four of those goals. As you say, the two power play goals are high skill plays. The other two are off the rush, and the McMahon shot is absolutely just stiffed. It's a great shot, but the Nylander goal is intriguing to me because he shot it off the toe, and I thought that was really interesting that you could see him move the puck on his stick and then pick a spot.
Yes, and there's a lot of videos online, which is sort of how the elite goal scorers, find ways to almost trick goalies into making them think that they're shooting high, and just with a little bit of a leg kick, they find a way just to open up a little bit of a hole there. So Nylander's one of the best in the league at doing that. You're seeing the Crosbys and the McKinnons as well, and there's no surprise that he's going to be flirting again with 45, 50 goals this year. That was a great goal scorer's goal, and it's funny, they were talking about, just him taking the day off and how he hasn't scored against the Calgary Flames, and then he comes out with two in the period. So I hope they're doing, on the intermission report, they're talking about me maybe coming back out of retirement and scoring a couple goals. But, if I'm Craig Berube, I'm happy because you're on the road. Everyone wasn't expecting them to really put up some points as they were struggling before this road trip, and they seem like they're just firing on all cylinders, and the specialty teams are very, very special tonight.
Well, and I think that, when the Leafs, even when they win and it's 2-1 or 3-1, the reason that people aren't really happy is because when you watch how they played in that second period, that's what they're capable of. And I think sometimes you get a little frustrated with the way they play because you know what they're capable of. And we certainly saw that in the first period Saturday, and we're seeing it here tonight.
Yeah, and there's been some, people out there describing the game as sort of boring and, low event hockey, but they have 4 or 5 major game breakers, right? So
yeah,
it starts with playing proper defense. McCabe had a big hit, physical hockey, and they just take advantage of their opportunities. On the McMahon goal, it was a defenseman activating, and it went off the back wall. He didn't really get a stick on it, and they went back the other way. They weren't cheating. They found the winger found a way to sort of get in the lane and sort of break up the play, as opposed to, hey, you know what, I'm just going to look to go up ice. So they're playing the right way, but with these game breakers, they just need an inch. They need a step. They need a small hole, and they just find a way to take advantage of it. So if I'm Craig Berube, I'm very, very happy with just that, because they're not cheating the game, but they're still creating on a shift-by-shift basis.
Yeah, so when the opportunity presents itself, they display their skill, but they're not trying to outskill the other team. They're letting the game play itself and then taking advantage, right?
Yeah, and again, I think the high danger opportunities in the second period for Calgary diminished, right? And, you heard Tanev talk about it. Hey, there's too many odd man rushes, and they fixed it. And attention to those details actually opened up some odd man rushes for them. And, Calgary is, they call it eager beaverish, where they try to maybe activate a little bit too early. They try to jump up and make some plays where I don't think they have that natural talent that the Maple Leafs do, and they got caught a couple times. But if I'm Toronto now going into this third period, again, discipline is key. Don't make them, find a reason to get back into this game. They're already 2 for 5. You give up another 2-3 power plays, they can find a way to get back in this game and take it over, because it seems like it's clicking as well. So no 5-on-3s nonetheless, but discipline is the key for Toronto for this final 20.
I mean, just go about your business, because they got called in 2 5-on-3s and 2 goals went in. So the way the hockey gods work, the odds of that happening again are slim and none.
We've seen this story. We know it's late. It's going into the twilight hours here on the East Coast. We understand that. But
Ralphie just nodded his head and went, oh, no, why did you do that?
Yeah, but we've seen that in years past. But again, it just feels like, in an 82-game season, you need a couple easy wins. I'm not saying that's going to be that, but they just find a way to take the game over. And if they continue to play like this, I don't see this becoming a 4-4 or a 5-4 game going into overtime, too. I think they can cruise to this if they just stick to those fundamentals that got them up 4-2.
The other thing that emerged for me in that period was Domi playing with Matthews and Knies. You could see that fit. I don't know that we saw it in the first period, but I think we saw it in the second period.
Yes. Some great plays. Almost found a Knies backdoor there as well. And, the fans have been calling this since last year, since game 2. Hey, why isn't Domi with these guys? And he is a very, very extremely talented player. He's a pass-first guy. And, Craig Berube talked about that. They're looking for a guy that can dish the puck and a facilitator of the puck. And he's doing that, too. I'd like to see him get on the board and shoot a little bit more. But, they talked about him not having any bad days. He's a big part of this lineup as well.
4-2 for the Leafs over Calgary after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew. Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Your sneakers are staring directly at you. You try to look away, but you can't. You're laced to face. They're saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, and your six-pack won't be either. But you've got to start somewhere. Stop staring. Put us on. Take that first step, or lunge, or squat. Start small. Start somewhere. Join for $7.99 every 2 weeks at fitforless.ca and experience fitness simplified. Some conditions apply. Fit for Less. Everybody happy.
PC Optimum More Days are here at your independent grocer. Plus, get a whole chicken for $1.99 a pound and pork back ribs for $3.99 a pound. Hurry, offers end Wednesday. Conditions apply. See flyer for details.
I'm the puck that just won't bounce your way.
I'm the gust of wind that makes the field goal miss.
I'm the final shot that bounces out. Yeah, that's me. I'm random. And before you bet more than you can afford to lose, remember, I'm always in play. Learn more at gamblingisrandom.ca.
Lately, times have been challenging, with many people facing increased interest rates, inflation, and rising credit card debt. Everyone needs a little help from time to time, but it can be hard to ask for help when it comes to your personal finances. But you're not alone. Millions of Canadians share that feeling with you. 500,000 Canadians have found help with their debt, and so can you with Consolidated Credit Counseling Services of Canada. They are one of the largest non-profit credit counseling organizations in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They could help you consolidate your bills into one affordable payment, minimize your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. No matter how much you owe, you don't need to do this alone. To get help, call 1-800-656-7129. That's 1-800-656-7129. Let Consolidated Credit get you back to a debt-free life. Call 1-800-656-7129. Call toll-free today for a free consultation. 1-800-656-7129. Ontario license number 4705786.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go to town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Tons of stuff going on. In the third period, Flyers 2-1 over Utah. In the second period, it is the Avs and Canucks scoreless. In the second period, Detroit 2-1 over Seattle. And in the first, Stars and Ducks are scoreless, and also in the first, Sharks 1-0 over the Habs. The rest are done. Bruins 3-0 over the Wild. Capitals got by the Panthers 6-3. Lightning got by the Senators 4-3. Sabres got by the Jackets 3-2. It was in a shootout. Devils defeating the Penguins 3-2. Islanders 2-1 over the Knights. And it was the Jets 3-0 over the Canes. And in overtime, Oilers 3, St. Louis 2. And our game 4-2 for the Leafs over Calgary after 40 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy. The third period is next on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
Experience Super Bowl 59 on the SiriusXM app. Catch interviews with the biggest names in sports and entertainment live from New Orleans.
The Skinny Chastity. Flavor Flav, boy.
Previews and predictions from the experts.
They have to keep the lid on Saquon Barkley's explosive runs.
Music specials to get you pumped for kickoff.
Kendrick Lamar is considered the best rapper of this generation.
And on Sunday, hear the game, instant post-game reaction, and more.
All gas, no break.
Just search Super Bowl on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter. Haaland scores the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in. Put it between his legs. Shoots it. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
A 2-goal lead into the third period. On the strength of 4 goals scored in the second stanza, they trailed 1-0 after the first, after 2 goals, one on each team, was called back by video review.
Now, second time this year, they've had a 4-goal period, obviously in Montreal.
I think you're right.
And their big comeback win, they were down 3-0 after the first. And here, but a 3-goal period. And then I think the last 3-goal period before that, there might have been one in Montreal too, but in Detroit, they were up at the Red Wings 3-0 after the first, 5-0 in the second period.
Leafs to the left and the Flames to the right. Getting set at center ice. Puck is dropped. We're underway. Flames with it in the center ice area. Play it down into the Toronto zone, and Tanev quickly sends it back up the middle, and here's Tavares in across the line. Trying to find Pacioretty on the left wing side, and his shot was easily caught by Dustin Wolf to stop play, and a faceoff will come in the offensive zone.
I've already mentioned the Leafs, the perfect 21-0-0, and leading after the second period. Calgary went trailing after 2. Just 2 wins in 21 times facing a deficit into the third, 2-16-3 on the season. But from a Leafs standpoint, they've been better 5-on-5, and they've got to keep pushing the envelope to get the next one.
They've been better 4-on-5. Shot goes high off of Matthews' stick and up into the screen. 2 of the goals scored with 5-on-3 power play opportunities for the Flames here this evening.
Austin Matthews comes in, having not scored in his last 3 games. Did have a couple of assists in the win over the Edmonton Oilers on Saturday night.
Leafs are in Seattle on Thursday night. We'll have that action for you. Hope you'll join us late night. Tuck yourself in. Get the radio on. Listen to the Leafs and the Seattle Kraken as Toronto has the puck back in their own zone. Pass up on the near boards for Domi. Rink wide finds Matthews. Left wing side to Knies. Knies into the corner. Goes around back of the net. Matthews gets it to Domi. Tried to make a backhand pass in front. And then defenseman Rasmus Andersson just tips the puck back to his goaltender to stop play. And a faceoff coming in the Calgary zone.
5 games ago that Calgary Flames were able to come up with back-to-back 5-goal games, 5-2 win over the Buffalo Sabres, and then a 5-4 win in Minnesota. So they have had some success offensively of late.
Holmberg waved out. Bobby McMahon's going to take the face-off. And the draw scrummed, but the Flames control it. Around back of the net. Pahal trying to play it up the wing and fired it into his own bench. So there'll be a face-off coming back, I believe, into Calgary territory once again.
It's funny, coming into this season, a lot of people had the Calgary Flames as a team that could be in the mix for a lottery pick, being in the top 5 or I guess bottom 5 of the NHL. But Rasmus Andersson, the defenseman for the Flames, said we got a lot of people to prove wrong here.
Yeah.
And they have.
Ryan Huska's done a great job. Long shot. That was blocked. The puck in the Calgary zone is pushed out on the left wing, and Serengovich will slip it deep into Toronto territory. Benoit taken heavily into the end boards there on a pretty good hit by Farabee as the puck comes free, and the Maple Leafs start back the other way. Flipped in by Pontus Holmberg. He gets around the defenseman to get to the puck first and tips it back of the net for McMahon. McMahon trying to shield it.
Oh, Connor Timmins.
And a hit, and Timmins is getting up rather slowly. That was way away from the play.
I don't know whether he just went down on his own or if there's a penalty coming up.
It looks like there's a penalty.
Boy, Connor Timmins seems to be favoring his left ankle. He makes his way to the Leaf bench.
And he's going right to the dressing room.
Boy, interference is the call. Boy, it almost looked like Timmins was the one that initiated contact, didn't it?
Well, that was kind of a strange, yeah.
Pahal is the Calgary defenseman that is going to take the penalty. Yeah, Calgary doesn't like this call at all.
4th power play of the game for Toronto. They've scored twice. And is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Draw scrummed. Tavares got it freed up for Nylander. He has a pair. Matthews, centering pass. That went just wide and goes to Nylander on the far half boards. Nylander getting it back to Morgan Rielly. Rielly holds back to Nylander. Nylander down to the dot. Now takes a shot. That was blocked. And the Flames trying to break it back the other way. Brought on now by Blake Coleman. Coleman on the left wing side with a shot taken by Backlund that is caught by Wall and held, and a face-off coming in the Toronto zone.
And the Calgary Flames, even though they're down a man, they get an opportunity to go. They're going to start to gamble a little bit here in the third period, down 2 goals.
Austin Matthews trying to catch Darryl Sittler, but he's a little ways behind Yari Curry on the all-time list. But boy, that every game there seems to be another list that comes out, another milestone. Leafs get across the line. Matthews couldn't get it in on goal. Played off a glove to center, and that'll force Morgan Rielly back, but it'll be a glove pass as it went off a Leaf glove. And so they'll be brought back, and the Leaf power play not nearly as effective as the first 2 that produced power play goals.
I think that was so good about the first couple of power plays was the entries, the zone entries that the Leafs are having trouble with now. 1:14 to go here in this power play.
And getting the puck to the net. Draw one by Tavares. Nylander goes around back of the net to give it to Morgan Rielly. Rielly will bank it off the boards. And out comes Matthews with it to Nylander. Nylander in on the right side. Played by Knies, but he tried to get it back to the point, but it was intercepted and shot down the ice. And now 54 seconds left, and again, entry being a problem. Rielly to Nylander to Matthews. To the line and in. Saucered off on the near side for Pacioretty. Pacioretty takes it into the corner. That's drawn a crowd in there. The Flames are able to dig it free, and they're going to send it out and down the ice again. Nope, the only thing this power play is doing is getting rid of 2 minutes on the clock. 26 seconds to go. Back, and now Robertson will lead the rush. He comes to center with a pass in on the left wing for Domi. Domi lost the puck, and now the Flames taking it back the other way. And across the line, Joel Farabee gets into the slot. Can't get a shot away. Swings it around the boards with 8 seconds left in the penalty. And it'll be Bobby McMahon leading the final rush out. They won't get into the zone before the penalty expires. Sent around the boards, and Domi has it in the left wing corner. Looks for a man in front, finds his man. Tanev with a shot. Blocked, big rebound. McMahon can't deliver the backhand. Then a shot whistles wide of the net by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Kept alive by Tanev, but he can't get it in deep. And the Flames have it now at their own blue line. They'll launch it high into the Toronto zone. And an icing call coming here, says the linesman. So it's coming all the way back into Calgary territory. Flames come into the game with a record of 16-8-3 on home ice, 26-19-7 for 59 points. The Leafs are now 12-8-2 on the road after a fairly sluggish start in games played away from Scotiabank Arena.
They won 7-9 away from home. The only loss is coming in Carolina, in Ottawa during the last 9-game stretch.
Draw one by Toronto. At the point, McCabe pulls, dishes to Tanev. Wrist shot coming, but was off of Lorenz and went wide. Lorenz battles on the boards for it. Reeves helps him out. Now they get back playing catch with it. Back at the net, it goes for Camp to Lorenz. Lorenz cross ice. Leafs McCabe trying to send it to the net. Had it blocked. That's another try. That's blocked, and it's going to carry him all the way back into the Toronto zone. Tanev is back. Fourth line out here for Toronto. McCabe gets it ahead for Reeves. And across the line, Lorenz, odd man rush here. Pass in front of the net looking for Camp, and it hit the one player that was back. Brought out now by Nazem Kadri. Flames get to the line and in. Kadri looking for a pass, gets to Huberdeau. Back around back of the net. Leafs fourth line still out there. Puck along the boards, now grabbed off. And Connor Timmins, good news, he's back into the game after walking it off. He went down the tunnel and went into the dressing room, but is back into the fray. Brought out at center. Philip Myers scratched from the Leafs lineup. Dakota Mermis was brought up as emergency call-up as the Leafs get it to center and shoot it in. He is not dressed tonight along with Mitch Marner. Along the boards, the Leafs get it back to the point. Rifled right back in, deep into the corner. 14 and a half minutes to play in the third. The Leafs by a pair. Anderson knocks his man down, and the Flames defenseman will get it out at center with a pass. It's turned over. Now a chance for Austin Matthews in a goal! Stretched out the rebound! Scores! Nice! Matthews was robbed by Wolf, but it took him completely out of position. The puck lay in the blue paint, and Matthew Knies in a dash dives to knock it into the net for a 3-goal lead.
Flames turn it over at center ice. It goes off his skate right to Austin Matthews, who has a lane to the net. Makes a great backhand forehand move to try to get it around the right pad of Wolf. It's stopped, but it pops back out underneath Wolf into the blue paint. And for Matthew Knies, I bet you this play felt like it took 3 minutes. He could see the puck laying there, and now it's a race between him and the Calgary defender, Sharon Govich.
Yep.
And it was Knies that dove and knocked it in. I don't know what the Flames are looking at over on the bench. Is there any kind of challenge here?
I don't know.
I don't know if there's, whether it's offside. Right now it appears they're taking a look at something. Matthews with the D.
Well, Matthews didn't interfere with the goaltender. Did Domi interfere with the goaltender going to the net?
If you're Calgary, you've got nothing to lose by challenging here.
No, you don't. The Calgary defenseman is the one who spun Wolf out of the goal.
No, they don't challenge.
They don't challenge. Wow.
I just figured under the circumstances, even if it was a 30% success rate.
Yeah. 5:44, the time of the goal. Matthew Knies has his 20th of the season. First time 20 goal scorer. And now the Flames get one back.
That Farabee, Joe?
I believe it is. Yep. Second of the game. Or, well, second of the game, first that counted.
Yeah. First official goal for the Flames. And Leafs had numbers back. Jake McCabe threw it up the left wing boards, but passed back Spacioretty. Point shot hits the wall of players in front, but the rebound right onto the stick of Farabee. Boy, through a maze, gets a low blocker side on Joseph Wall. And the Calgary Flames very quickly back to within 2 goals of the Maple Leafs.
Huberdeau got the shot away. Farabee right on the doorstep, got his stick on it. And while I'm busy writing down goal scorers, they're scoring goals, and thank goodness you're paying attention.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. So it is a 5-3 hockey game, and the 2-goal lead is still in effect for the Maple Leafs. Timmins getting it off on the wing for Benoit. He plays it down into Calgary territory. Huberdeau and Weegar draw the assists on the Calgary goal, and another shot is swallowed up here by goaltender Wolf.
Boy, a pretty good move by Nick Robertson to get to the front of the net. But didn't get a great shot off on Wolf.
Matthew Knies celebrates his first 20-goal season in the National Hockey League, and the Maple Leafs have a 5-3 lead in Calgary. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The NBA landscape changed with an all-time trade.
When the sports world is talking, nobody gives you more perspectives than the experts of SiriusXM.
Luka Doncic got traded for Anthony Davis.
Hear instant reaction on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
The Dallas Mavericks did not trust Luka Doncic.
And expert analysis on NBA Radio.
The most shocking deal to me in my 22 or 23 years of affiliation with the NBA.
This might be the biggest ripoff in NBA history.
Live sports talk when you need it is on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate
with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick.
Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern
on NHL Network Radio,
SiriusXM 91 and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scored the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Taking a look at that other goal, Joe, by Matthew Knies, and I'm still surprised there was no challenge from Calgary.
Especially when it was going to be a 3-goal lead. Now they've got it back to 2, but that was a pivotal spot, one would have thought. Coleman back in the Calgary zone, dropping it off. Joel Hanley gets it ahead. A lead pass off a stick down into Toronto territory. No, I guess it didn't touch the stick. They're calling it icing. And it'll come back into the Calgary zone.
A couple of interesting stats that let's hope they're not tested here in the third period. But the Leafs have a winning streak when scoring more than 4 goals in a game. 21 straight games when they've scored more than 4 goals in a game they've won. The Flames have a streak of 28 games. So if this game gets tied at 5,
who knows?
The streak is ending.
Somebody's is. Now the Leafs get the puck free. Here's McMahon with a backhand that went wide of the net. Robertson trying to keep the puck in. Ran into traffic, but got it freed up then, and it is pushed out at center ice as Bobby McMahon couldn't keep it in. Rifled right back in again by Timmins. Knocked out of the air nicely there by Dustin Wolf back of his cage. And the Leafs trying to keep that in, have it come out into the center ice area. Now launched high. Calling for the fair catch was Wolf, but he mishandled it. How the puck comes back into the corner. A shot there by McMahon. What's up the rebound? Oh, and it bounced over Robertson's stick as he had Wolf down and out. The camera switched away, so we didn't really see how Wolf mishandled that puck. Brought back in now by Kadri. Stolen back by McCabe. Found Tanev. And out comes Tanev with a lead pass that went off the stick of Reeves and into the offensive zone. Flames are able to come up with it, though. They'll break it out at center with Jake Bean getting it to the Toronto blue line. Left wing side for Farabee. Farabee had it taken away by David Camp. He plays around the boards for Morgan Rielly. Rielly's trying to play it up the boards, but it was cut off. Huberdeau in front. A shot went off the shoulder of Wall. Down into the corner on the near side. Huberdeau getting it back to the point and unable to keep it in there was Weegar. He'll shoot it in, but the Leafs will be able to get at least part of their line change going. Lorenz hustling to the bench. Nylander cruising through center. He's got 2. Willie carries down into the right wing corner. Played it back along the boards there for Pacioretty. He couldn't come up with it. Tavares is allowed to keep it in. Now Pacioretty against the boards in traffic. Tavares is blasted from behind in along the boards there by Kadri. Or excuse me, by Kevin Rooney, and played to center ice now by the Flames. They'll get to the line, and Lomborg will backhand it down into the Toronto zone. Timmins given a hit, but got it to the line, and then it's brought in offside by Calgary's defenseman Joel Hanley. So a stoppage of play and a faceoff coming in the center ice area. Leafs leading by a score of 5-3.
Craig Berube did say after the win against the Edmonton Oilers, he said, we got the 3-0 lead, and he said, we stopped pushing. And maybe a lot of it was the respect for the Edmonton Oilers offense that you got into defend mode for the final 2 periods. But I like the way they've been here in the third, Joe. They haven't sat back. You would have thought that the 5th goal might be enough to put this game into a sleeper hold, but the Flames have battled back to make it 5-3 again.
Puck in the Toronto zone against the near boards. Comes back to the blue line. Winding and shooting is Anderson, and Wall, who's really not been a factor. I mean, he's been steady.
Yeah.
You can't say that any of the goals.
Oh, compared to last game.
Oh, no, that was spectacular.
But like a night off. And
yeah.
It would certainly appear that we're going to see Anthony Stolarz in Seattle on Thursday.
That seems to be what is ticketed. Matt Murray is backing up today, so Stolarz would come off the injured reserve list before the game in Seattle. But 2 5-on-3 goals, and now an even strength goal is what Joseph Wall has surrendered, and we're 30 seconds away from the halfway mark of this third period with the Leafs leading 5-3 and out shooting the Calgary Flames 26-21.
That's been a bizarre game, hasn't it? The 5-on-3s,
2 goals called back. Yeah.
Leafs 2 power play goals.
Draw one by the Flames, kept in at the point. Anderson got it in along the boards. A sharp angle shot taken on the shoulder by Wall, and he calmly collects the rebound in his glove. Stops play. Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Or that last flurry of Wall saves against Edmonton at the end of the game.
Yeah, and even the Corey Perry chance, whether it would have beat the buzzer or not, I mean, it was as spectacular as you can get.
No, and certainly Wall had no idea how much time was left. Yeah. Unless he's got a timer in his head ticking away. He was hoping, but he hadn't heard a buzzer. And he made the buzzer beater save. Played down to the Calgary blue line. Flames get it up on the right side. Huberdeau, a pass on the left wing, and across the line comes Bean. Jake Bean couldn't get a shot. Tavares gets it out. Nylander ran into Uyghur, but got it into the center ice zone. Huberdeau being chased back in his own end. McCabe stepped up and almost intercepted, but now Farabee turns the puck over, and it is Tavares going back at his own blue line. Tanev taking his time, coming out. Looks up ice, decides to go to his defense partner, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it ahead, but they don't get it in deep. And out come the Flames, led by Huberdeau to get it ahead to Coleman. Coleman on the left wing. Backman sends a long shoot in that goes wide. Puck comes back to the point. Flipped in front of the net. That will trickle wide of the Leaf goal. Played up on the boards then by the Leafs, but they don't get it out. Broken stick as Robertson has lost it, and now goes it to the bench to get a new one. Played back to the point. Kept in by Barry. Tyson Barry with a shot blocked in front. Rebound! Wall was out of position. Good play by Ekman-Larsson, though, to tie up his man, and there was no subsequent rebound shot. Flames will chip it in. Wall will leave it at the side of the goal. Gave it up, then Wall was knocked down and interfered with there by Blake Coleman.
Wall turns to the referee, said something, and the referee said, "Look, I'm tired of calling this crap."
Offside at the blue line, touched by Reeves, and it'll be maybe all the way back in the Toronto zone as it'll be judged a purpose offside. Now, here's the difference in mentality. That was Ron Hextall. We're still calling the fight. It's a 5-3 Toronto lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Four nations face off for the world to see. This February, international best-on-best hockey is back as NHL stars compete for their country to see which hockey nation will reign.
Star power in abundance.
Canada, Finland, Sweden, USA. Teammates turned rivals, and rivals turned teammates. For country, for glory, four nations.
We are set for puck drop.
The Four Nations Face-Off begins February 12th on Sportsnet.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Wait, where's the webcam button? There it is. Hey, what's up, Leafs fans? Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight here on TSI. We are going after that plaque right there. We're going after 100,000 insiders / subscribers. Thank you so much for being here with us, chatting it up, cheering on our Maple Leafs every single game of the season and the playoffs. Now let's get back to the hockey. Welcome to the new insiders. Cheers. And don't forget, turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live. We go live a lot of other sports as well. We'll see you back in the chat.
Going to cost them as it turns into a face-off in the Leaf zone.
Leafs win the face-off and get it ahead. Domi chops it out at center. One-handed by Knies into the offensive end. Up against the boards, back of the net for Matthews. Can't get to it. Then Matthews lifts the stick and steals it back. Domi on the near half boards, back to the point to Tanev. Back to Domi. Domi sends it in and around the boards to the far side. Jake McCabe flipping it back at the net for Matthews. Matthews and McCabe after it again. Matthews with it back at the net with a wraparound, and that went just wide. McCabe keeps it in with a pass into the slot. Knies couldn't help out, and out come the Flames across the line for Huberdeau. Huberdeau dropping it back. A shot by Kadri deflected wide. Tavares can't get it out. McCabe flipping it up on the boards, but it won't clear. Bean keeps it in for Calgary. Weegar now trying to send it into the corner. Tanev will cut that off. He'll flip it back in along the boards to himself and then find defense partner Jake McCabe. Both teams are trying to change here.
Chris Tanev is just so smart in his own end, isn't he? I mean, there's the physical side, there's the shot blocking, but it's those little plays to get out of danger and get the puck out of his own end.
Little passes. Yep, I agree. Flames play it to the line, not out. Leafs keep it in with a wrist shot that was blocked. A race now down the right wing side, trying to break in there. Was at Backlund, but he couldn't get free. Pospisil trying to keep it alive, and then the Leafs are able to get it out with Tavares playing it into neutral ice. 7 minutes to play in the third. The Leafs by a pair. Office sticking into the offensive zone and skating after it, McMahon. McMahon around back of the net. Bobby McMahon playing it back towards the blue line. Robertson backhands it high to the near corner. It's caught there by goaltender Wolf. And Pontus Holmberg gets into a little shoving session at the side. Nothing more developing there. And a face-off coming in the Calgary zone.
One thing that Morgan Frost has noticed as a member of the Calgary Flames, just glancing through his ice time tonight, only 12:49 to this point, but in his first two games with the Flames, Joe, Morgan Frost, 18:01 in his last game against the Seattle Kraken. And Joel Farabee put up in the first line as soon as he comes over. So I think there is something about, a team trades for you and says, we want you, you're going to play more.
You're going to play more, yeah. Well, Morgan Frost, first round pick of the Flyers. Shot goes wide of the net. Played around the boards to the near side. I was at that draft in Chicago with Paul Hendrick and Leafs TV. And Morgan Frost. That was a bit of a surprise pick, too. I mean, he had a great career with the Sioux Greyhounds. Puck in the center ice area is deflected back into Calgary territory. Played up by Pahal. Intercepted by Matthews. Matthews gave the puck away, and a shot by Backlund. Stopped by Wall, and he's going to hold on.
Leafs have been guilty of that a number of times in this game. The turnovers in their own zone, and this time it was Austin Matthews had to get away from him. The Calgary Flames trying to open up the middle of the ice, with that stretch pass. And it was Matthews just tried to make a little bumper pass to Oliver Ekman-Larsson in the right wing circle, but it was out of his reach and funneled right towards the Leaf net.
Puck squirts to center ice, and Domi races after it to get to it. Gives it off to Matthews, who stick handles through and couldn't get a shot away. Back to the point, kept in by Rielly. Sent around the boards and back of the net. Domi couldn't get to it. Knies does. Knies in the corner to Domi. Domi gets it back to the point for Ekman-Larsson. Can't get it to the net. Gets it back to Domi. Near half boards. Trying to flip it in front for Matthews. It was blocked. He gets it again. Gets it back to the point this time. OEL at the blue line. Sending it down into the corner. Cut off by Rasmus Andersson, who has shot it out and down the ice. And an icing call.
Opposition. Right now they've got a 27-23 advantage in shots over the Flames.
Draw one by Toronto. McCabe gets it to Nylander. Back to McCabe, who takes it nicely off his skate. Played it in back of the goal, but Tavares couldn't get to it. Flames get it out and down the ice, but icing waved off by the linesman, and Tanev goes back for it. Chris Tanev with the Flames changing, getting an opportunity to skate the center, and he'll rip it in to Calgary territory. 5 minutes to play in the third. Puck comes free to Nylander! Looking for number 3, but it is off the shoulder of Wolf and solidified as he gets the glove on it.
We said it's the 8-year anniversary of Willie Nylander's only hat trick in the National Hockey League, as he got another one in him tonight.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You will win with money. You will become wealthy if you will do these 5 things over and over again.
Dave Ramsey, America's trusted voice on money, is on SiriusXM Triumph.
Get out of debt. When you don't have any payments, you know what you've got? Money.
Call in for advice that's helped millions crush debt, build wealth, and achieve peace of mind.
Financial freedom is closer than you might think.
The Dave Ramsey Show. Weekdays starting at 6 a.m. East on SiriusXM Triumph 111.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA. Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada face-off associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
Now we're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Nylander coming very close to his second career hat trick with a chance just as we went to commercial break. He's a talented, complex young man. And a Calgary native. Yeah, although he'll play for Sweden in the Four Nations Cup. Played to the center ice area. Chipped back on the boards. Leafs shoot it right back into Calgary territory. 4.5 minutes to play in the third. Flames get it through center. Intercepted again by the Leafs, and Nylander's back in on the right side. Stops up and now curls back towards the blue line. Just did keep it in, but the Flames have it now on the far boards, and Bean will start out with it. Jake Bean now stretching it out again as the Flames get their last change going. And the pass comes up on the left wing for Huberdeau. Got it in over the line. Trying to work back now to the blue line. It comes back with a shot by Kadri that went high and wide. 4 minutes and 6 seconds left. Not sure when Ryan Huska will go with the extra attacker. Puck in along the boards and up on the near side. Domi had it knocked down. Kept in there by Tyson Barrie. Barrie gets it over on the right wing side. Trying to work in with it is Anderson. He shot it wide and it comes all the way around the boards and all the way back down into Calgary territory. Barrie gets the puck from his goaltender and gets it back in, and Anderson rings the boards with it. Reeves on the far side chips it out at center ice. Flames get it again, but can't get in over the line. Reeves steals. Reeves is in alone. Oh, and a good save made by Wolf. And he'll hold on. Ryan Reeves looking for his first goal of the season.
And a great play there as well. Had a chance on a deflection in the first period that just went wide. And what you like about this is Reeves gets the puck out of the Leafs zone first and then forces a turnover again at center and is able to get past his man, move in, makes a pretty good move, Joe.
Yeah, he did.
Backhand, forehand, but couldn't get it up and over the right shoulder of Wolf.
Right-handed shot.
7:06 in ice time for Ryan Reeves tonight.
3:29 to play in the third. Face off in the Calgary zone. And I would think Dustin Wolf would be ticketed for the bench here fairly soon. Draw scrummed. Tavares couldn't get it out in front. Nylander was in the high slot. Flames trying to play it along. Nylander cut it off. His pass went off a skate right to the stick of Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He can't get it in deep. Flames are going to break it out at center. Up ahead for Morgan Frost. Drop pass now and a wrist shot blocked. The rebound went into the corner. Come bouncing back towards the blue line. Kept alive, and now the net is empty and 6 attackers for the Flames. Into the slot for Barrie. Shot deflected wide. Bounces out in front of the net. Tavares took it to safety. Looking for the empty net, but had it blocked by Barrie at the blue line. Kept alive by the Flames to Kadri. Kadri down low and into the corner. Flames have scored twice with a 2-man advantage. They have one here. Shot here is blocked by Wall, and my mathematics is really bad because it's a one-man advantage with the net empty. You didn't even pick up on that. You, the math wizard of math wizards.
Yeah, but I don't listen to you that often either. So, in fairness to me.
Good point.
Thank God we don't listen to each other.
Draw one by Calgary, but wasn't done fairly. They'll do it over again. 2:38 to go. 6 attackers on the ice for the Flames. Matthews taking the draw. Nylander is not on the ice. At the puck, it comes now to Anderson. Anderson swinging it around the boards. Cleared to the line. Knocked down there on the far side. Kept alive by the Flames in the corner. Leafs get it freed up in front. And then a nice little touch pass. Brings Tanev looking for the empty net, but as he sent it towards it, it was deflected down into Calgary territory. Knies gets it in front. Matthews fans. No, he didn't. He broke his stick. Oh, my, what a chance that was. Leafs get it down or the Flames get it down into the Leaf end. Matthews with a new cue from Bobby Hastings, the equipment manager. Centering pass doesn't work. Backhanded towards the empty net. Going wide. Icing call here against... How many times have we seen this?
Boy, the broken sticks?
Yes. Yeah. And for no reason, right?
Now, there was still, as much as you're saying, wow, Matthews had an empty net to shoot at in front of everybody, it was Jonathan Huberdeau seemed to lift his stick and break it at the same time, didn't he? As the Flames have now called a timeout with 1:55 to go. But there were 4 players between Matthews and the net, so it wasn't.
No, it wasn't a gimme.
Wasn't quite a gimme.
No, it wasn't. So a timeout here. The Leafs out shooting Calgary 29-24, leading 5-3, trying to sweep a Western trip in Calgary and set up a good finish to this road trip with games in Seattle and in Vancouver still to come. Minute 55 left in the third period. And Nylander getting a new stick. Maybe that's the empty net stick.
The hat-trick stick that he had in Boston.
Mm-hmm. He's not on the ice to start here with 1:55 to go. Matthews lost the draw. Weegar walks the line. Near side and a shot into the chest of Wall. And he'll stop that. He had Chris Tanev kneeling down right beside him. The courage aspect of this is just absolutely beyond. Absolutely beyond.
And doesn't flinch.
No. He tried to turn. He turned his head, trying to protect himself a little bit, but he wasn't trying to get out of the way, that's for sure. Tavares will take this face-off now. And it is scrummed, but comes back to the point. Weegar walks the line. Off from the far side to Kadri. Kadri holds back to Weegar. Weegar holds back to Kadri, far half boards. Still with it. Nowhere to go with it, but send it back to Weegar. Weegar tries the other side. Centering pass goes to Kadri. Pass in front of the net. Big scramble on. Backhanded by the Leafs, but not out. Tavares trying to get it out, and he does. Flames have to tag up. They get it right back into the zone with 1:20 to go. Tanev, a pass for Tavares. He had a chance to clear, but didn't. Back to Weegar. Weegar, Huberdeau shooting. That went off Matthews' stick. And now the Flames keep it in again. Another shot blocked by Wall. Round the boards to Kadri. Back to Weegar. Weegar bank pass into the corner. Comes back to Frost. Frost to Weegar. To Kadri. Shot stopped by Wall. Rebound of Matthews. He is in tight. Tries to play it out. It goes off the glass and into the screen. And with 51.5 seconds left, there will be a face-off in the Toronto zone. The puck got into the blue paint. There was a lot of bodies in there scrambling around.
Yeah, I think it was Nazem Kadri, wasn't it, from the right wing side.
Huberdeau couldn't get a stick on it.
Yeah, but just saw him a lot of bodies on the far post, and Kadri threw it into the mass, and Calgary, fortunately for the Leafs, the Flames unable to get a stick on it.
Draw to the right, won by the Flames. Weegar loses the puck. Willie's got it. Hat trick coming. Scores! Second career hat trick for Willie, and Nylander scores it to make it a 6-3 game on the exact same date as his first.
8 years later. John Tavares has 2 hat tricks this season. And this is going to be an unassisted goal as Willie Nylander was able to strip the puck. Was that Mackenzie Weegar?
Yep.
That he was able to take the puck off of. Weegar, I guess, thinking there should have been a penalty, but Willie Nylander, as Weegar tries to turn away and get away from him, Nylander gets on the right side of Weegar's body, lifts the stick, and then the empty net goal and a breakaway from the Leaf blue line in. And the Leafs will sweep Alberta. The Detroit Red Wings came out and swept Western Canada to get themselves back into the mix for a wild card spot. And the Leafs, this is a huge game, big win for them. Senators lose earlier in the night, so they'll go back 4 points up on Ottawa and get back within a point of the Florida Panthers and still have 2 games in hand on Florida.
Well, it's a homecoming of sorts. Willie was born in Calgary, raised mostly in Sweden, and comes back to Alberta to throw a wrench into the Calgary Flames as the Maple Leafs now with a 6-3 lead, and Nylander has the hat trick, his second career hat trick. And how ironic, as you mentioned, 8 years to the day.
I wonder how many games he has played on this date. That'd be interesting to find out. Let me know if
a good color man would probably have that right at his fingertips. But
well, let's see if anyone's come up with it.
It's called the World Wide Web. Leafs get to the puck, but not cleared. Kept lying down the boards there by Klapka, and now it's set it out into the Calgary zone. Under a minute to play in the third period. And the time ticking down with 18 seconds, and the Leaf fans are whooping it up at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. Cleared back into Calgary territory, final 10 seconds. Flames have it back in their own end, and that will just about do it. The Toronto Maple Leafs, on the strength of a hat trick by Willie Nylander and a power play that was red hot through the province of Alberta, collect a 6-3 victory over the Calgary Flames and run this road trip 2-0. Looking forward to Seattle in 2 nights' time.
And for Joseph Wall, season win number 19. And this was a stat that fortunately the Leafs were able to turn around. Since December 27th, they were just 1-6 when out shooting the opposition, while they were 9-1 while being outshot. So that held true, obviously, in the Edmonton game on Saturday. But fortunately, with the Leafs out shooting the Flames, they put a dent in that little trend that they had going since Christmas.
So the Maple Leafs have won this one by a score of 6-3. We invite you to join us on Thursday night. Get your jammies on. Get the radio tucked in while you're lying in bed if you want. It's a 10 o'clock start. The Seattle Kraken hosting the Maple Leafs, and we'll have that action for you beginning at 10 o'clock. Final score, the Leafs 6, the Flames 3. Willie Nylander's second career hat trick. And you've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
SiriusXM NFL Radio's coverage continues before Super Bowl 59. Hear an all-access pass from New Orleans as we talk with Hall of Famers, Super Bowl legends, and the stars of the NFL.
I'm going to lay it on the line. It gets to the playoffs. It's win or go home.
Our panel of experts will get you ready for Super Bowl 59 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hear coverage of Super Bowl 59 all week on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA. Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche general manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy, he's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe, you decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out of me being let go. And the more I got to know Tom and his vision for the team and seeing the situation, it was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Point on the far side. Ekman Larsson sends it back. Centering pass, Knies. Near side. Scores! One-timer from Willie. Ties the game. Out at center ice with Nylander with one man back. Nylander in. Scores! Willie gives the Leafs a 2-goal lead. Willie's got it. Hat-trick coming. Scores! Second career hat-trick for Willie. And Nylander scores it to make it a 6-3 game on the exact same date as his first.
8 years later, he gets the hat trick on the same date. He did it in the 16-17 season in 2017 against the Boston Bruins. Tonight, he does it in Calgary against the Flames. Welcome to Leafs Game Night, the post-game show. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. And Stu, 6-3 it was an impressive win built on a great second period. No question about that.
Yeah, and again, my memory serves correct. It may be not so great, but they're a second period team where they find ways to get back into games. And just looking at some of the stats here, it's hard to believe that William Nylander only had 2 career hat tricks up to one before tonight. So it's funny, he had 2. And I think it was midway through the third period there. He just came in casually. It's like almost as if he didn't really want that third goal. He's like, okay, you know what? I'm on a breakaway here. I might as well put it in and get the hat trick. But a great road period game, second period specifically, to really push the pace and take over that game. But there's been talks about sort of the system and it not being necessarily barn burners, but their talented took over tonight, especially in that second period. And it started, and we've talked about this many times on this program, Instagram just about the specialty teams, whether or not you score or not on the power play, it getting momentum and keeping momentum. And that was the key, scoring, 2 goals in a minute and a half there at the beginning of the second period there. So it was a great team effort. Everybody got involved too, but William Nylander elevated his game in his hometown to get the Leafs to win tonight.
Well, and I guess you could say in the third period it was the old bend but don't break, because Calgary had certainly puck control, didn't have a lot of great opportunities in terms of shots, but had the opportunity to get this a little closer, and so that's how the Leafs weathered the storm. They do it better than any other edition of the Leafs that I can remember, and was successful again, wasn't it?
Yeah, they do a good job. You almost turning the game into background noise, right? Where you just sort of see it going back and forth. Not necessarily any grade A opportunities, but Calgary did a good job really getting the pucks to the point and getting pucks through. But the Leafs did another phenomenal job of blocking shots. 23 tonight as a group. You saw Tanev with 3 blocks through the first in the first period. He finished with 5. Benoit had 3. Austin Matthews had 4 block shots too. So just the system. And we talk about that is a big part of it. Getting in shooting lanes, not necessarily diving and letting it hit you in the ankles, just getting in front of pucks, playing the game the right way, and your talent naturally takes over. So in describing this group compared to last year, there seems to be a buy-in, a natural buy-in where they're not just talking about the system, there's the belief in it. And when you have success as you're sitting close to the top of your division and playing some great hockey, it's fun to watch and it's fun to call as well.
It is. I think that probably the best part about this team for me is what happened in that second period where the power play took over, and then the 2 off the rush goals where, in the past everybody'd be looking for a stretch pass or they just sort of defaulted to trying to do a sort of a track meet. But this team is patient enough to wait for the opportunity. And when the opportunity presents itself, they can absolutely bury you. And that's really the story of the second period for me.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to the sort of the natural respect for a coach that's not going to ask you to do anything he hasn't done, and he had to make a living the hard way. So when he's telling you to block shots or play defense or go in a corner and win a battle, you have to listen to it because he's not afraid to, get in your face or let you know whether you're a $15 million guy or a $700,000 guy. So there's that accountability, right? And we use that word a lot, and especially at the post presser last year when they got knocked into the playoffs, talking about that accountability by this group. They are playing accountable, and it's not just one line, right? You saw Max Domi's line had a great night tonight. Tavares getting on the board, but Bobby McMahon, a third line guy, he got bumped up to second line duty in the third period, but he would play good. You saw Ryan Reeves almost get his second of the season. Lorentz made a great pass to McMahon, so it's a good team effort. And when you sort of couple that or top that with your high-end talent taking over games, I'm not saying you're unbeatable, but it's you're going to have the advantage in most nights in today's NHL.
Well, and if you go back to Saturday, obviously that's a great first period, and the 40 minutes that followed weren't so great. But again, that's bend but don't break. But back-to-back wins in Edmonton and Calgary is certainly noteworthy as well.
Yes, and I remember at the tail end of their 3-game losing streak, right? And we said just when we're about to pick the microscope out and just shift it a little bit more, we're like, they're probably going to win 2 games. So it's, but again, it's, you can see by some of the players' Instagram accounts, they're going out a lot of R&R, and sometimes that's just sort of the recipe for success. Sometimes when you're stuck at home and the dog days of the winter of the season, you got family and you got all these other accommodations that you have to take care of. When you just get to go on the road for a week to 10 days and just relax and get together as a team and maybe have a rookie party or not, it just brings that team together. And that's what you're seeing, a team playing close-knit hockey, playing a physical brand of hockey, but they're just sticking together. And it just seems, whether it's the first line or the fourth line, they're all on the same page. And that's the making of a team that's looking to have some success in the playoffs. They're consistently consistent, and yes, they've had their 3-game losing streaks 2-3 times for the season, but they're beating some pretty decent teams. The Edmonton Oilers are one of the top teams in the Western Conference. Calgary has been a hot team as of late, riding a hot goaltender in Dustin Wolf, where they were talking about potentially winning the Calder Trophy. They made him look very pedestrian today, especially on the McMahon goal. So it was a great team effort. But most impressive being on the road. Didn't feel like or sound like a road game based on the fans. Did they buy some fans tonight? Can you buy fans and pay them to come cheer for you? And I was shocked by the amount of hats that came on the ice for William Nylander, but that just shows the power of Leafs Nation throughout there too. So very, very impressive win, and I'm sure they want to carry this momentum and get back to possibly first place in the division as they get ready for this Four Nations break coming in a couple days.
I mean, it looked like the Scotiabank Arena Blue Crew was on the road giving away jerseys. I mean, there were entire sections that were all Leaf jerseys. That's phenomenal.
No, that's great. And, you talk about it being the center of the hockey universe. It's tough to really debate that when, even in Edmonton the other night, too, you could hear them, right? You could hear them in Florida. When I was in Florida and we played the Leafs, I was yelling at my dad, like, hey, why are you cheering for the Leafs? Get out of here. What are you doing? So it's the fandom. It's one of the best fans bases in the world, and it's good to see them get some recognition.
Well, and tune in Saturday night when the Leafs are in Vancouver. It'll happen again.
Oh, I hope there might be a fight in the stands. I don't know about that. Was that a tongue-in-cheek comment? I don't know.
No. I've done games in Vancouver. There's a lot of Leaf fans there.
Okay, yeah. I haven't. But
they only come out for hockey games.
Yeah, I value my social media mentions. So every time I hear Vancouver, I backpedal. I tread very, very carefully.
Well, there are a few Toronto jokes in Vancouver for sure.
Yeah, that's funny. But it was after that first period, right? There's been times this season where you're like, okay, here we go again. What are we going to get now for the final 40 minutes? And they just, within a 6-7 minute span, you're like, okay, they're back. So it's a perfect term. You're talking about bending, not breaking. This is the team that's dealt with tremendous adversity throughout the whole entire year. There was some, was Stolarz playing tonight? What's going on? And remember, we haven't even mentioned Mitch Marner. He, their top point producer. He wasn't even in the lineup tonight, and they still dominated. So that just shows the system is not just getting them through, 2 games, but it's getting them through games as well.
Well, I would look at this. This is another reminder for teams that play the Leafs is how detailed your defending has to be, because if you're going to give them opportunity, they're going to absolutely bury them. And I think that was, Calgary would look at this game as, well, we were a little loose and we gave them opportunities, and you can't give those players those opportunities.
Yeah, transition from defense to offense was a great job by the Maple Leafs tonight, too. And it started with the defense getting the puck up. And, it's a tough team to beat when Rielly, McCabe, Tanev, and Larson are bringing their A games, right? And McCabe had a big night tonight. And, Morgan Rielly seems like he was bouncing back. And, his goal share was really, really high compared to some other nights. And I'll check on it on his plus minus. But, again, he seems like he's starting to consistently get back to where he was as well. And you saw Connor Timmins take a bump in the third period too, but it was a solid defensive effort, solid goaltending as well, and that's sort of been the story for the year. So when they have those two elements, and then the specialty teams are clicking on the power play element, and then you're getting some production from middle and bottom six, like that's a recipe for constant success, not just one and off, but if you're bringing those elements more nights than not, you're going to have success. And that's why this team is yes, they'll go through the rough patches, but consistently they've been one of the best teams in the division for most of the year.
Leafs win at 6-3 in Calgary. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum! Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
This product may not be right for you. Read product label and follow directions.
Tired of thinning or receding hair? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, the Hair Grow supplement is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. It's a new year and the perfect time for a new you. Start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available at Costco, Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, Loblaws, and London Drugs, or online at Amazon and newnordic.ca.
Leafs game night, they win 6-3 in Calgary. Post-game comments powered by your Ontario Honda dealers. Power, efficiency, performance. The Honda Civic Hybrid is your ultimate power play. Available now at your Ontario Honda dealer. This is William Nylander on his hat trick tonight.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I didn't really expect that to happen maybe tonight. I mean, I've had a lot of other games where I had 2 goals and not been able to score, so, you know, it was nice to finally win.
What's it like to see hats rain down when you're on a road?
Yeah, I mean, it's special. I mean, like I said, we have a huge following. I mean, best fans in the league. So, I mean, the sport we get, rugby plays, it's tremendous. So to see those hats come down, special.
What were you thinking when you jumped on for that last shift?
I obviously want to try and score, but I mean, don't want to give one up either. So I think it's just, trying to play it smart.
What do you think of how they did?
Yeah, I thought we played good. I mean, they got 2 5-on-3s, which I haven't seen in a long time in a game. And other than that, I thought we played pretty well overall.
What's worked with the power play?
Yeah, I think we're just moving the puck, keeping it simple, and, keeping the puck moving quickly, I think is huge, and getting pucks to the net and retrieving it when scoring.
You talked a little bit this morning about needing to step up collectively without Mitch Marner. Fair to say that happened tonight?
Yeah, I think everybody played a great team game. All lines were clicking, all D, and we'll play great tonight.
Were you aware that it was 8 years since the day that he scored your first time?
I had no clue, but that's pretty insane. Yeah.
Any special with that?
Yeah, obviously it's super special. I mean, born here and scoring my second career hat trick 8 years after my first one is pretty wild. So yeah, it'll be a special one.
8 years to the day. And so I was looking up that team in 2017, and guess who's still here? Austin Matthews, William Nylander, Mitch Marner, and Morgan Rielly still with the team. That year, Nylander had 22 goals in 81 games, 61 points, and the team record was 40, 27, 0, and 15. Babcock, Brewer, DJ Smith, Hiller, and Steve Briere were the coaching staff, and our good friend Peter Holland was also on that team as well. Frankie C was on that team. So, I mean, a lot of people have gone through the league. Is still playing from that team is Kadri, of course, who played for Calgary tonight. He had 32 goals that year. So, it's interesting that the hockey gods allow these things to happen on the exact same date, but that's the way it is.
Man, I wish I knew that information before the game. Maybe I would have put $6 on hat trick. I could have bought you dinner. No, but it's just
what a nothing burger.
Yeah, nothing burger. Air Whopper, Air Whopper special delivery. But
two of those to go. Thank you.
Extra cheese. But yeah, it's funny. The one stat I want to see, how many 2-goal games he has. He must be one of the lead leaguers, right? And again, I just go back to the casualness where, he had a chance to get third halfway through the third period, and it was just, it didn't go in. That's okay. So there's just a cool, calm, and collectiveness just sort of about his game and how he, not necessarily takes shifts off, but he just sort of cruises, but turns it on at the right time. Like again, that's why they call him Willie Styles, and one of the the best players in the league. And he's going to be flirting now with 50 goals, and that's another guy now when he finds his groove and he rides in a high into the playoffs. That just adds another dangerous element, right? And the one question was the power play, and the power play seems like they've found ways to be successful, and they're just simplifying it. They're getting pucks on net. They have different weapons and elements as well too of guys being successful, right? Austin Matthews now is crashing that. Matthew Knies is there. You got layers with Pacioretty and Tavares. Well, and the second unit is stepping up. So not saying they're firing on all cylinders, but they're just getting consistent efforts from most guys. And before it was, if it wasn't Matthews having a big night, Marner or Nylander, it would spell disaster for this group. And maybe the missing element was Tavares being out, right? And he is a big part. And from where he was at the beginning of the year, starting off as the third line center without the C, what's going on with the contract status, to quiet all that noise and just come in and be a constant and just be a guy that lets the numbers and his play do the talking. I'm not going to market to try to find somebody to fill that hole. He is the guy. He's shown that he can do it. He can do it consistently, and I would not be surprised to see him retire a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Yeah, hopefully the new cap with the projections over the next 3 years doesn't push him into an area that the Leafs don't want to go into. I think that'd be a major loss. I mean, this guy he finds sort of a new gear every year, or maybe new isn't, but a different gear might be the better way to describe it, because everybody keeps trying to put him on the third line and he doesn't end up there.
Yeah, he's a pro's pro, and it's funny, the microscope shifts to him. They always talk about, the speed, but since he's been here, he's been a point a game or just below a point a game player every single season that he's here, and to be doing it at this age and scoring, what was it, 21st tonight, I believe, and that's pretty decent numbers for a guy that's up there in age,
yeah.
But. And you're looking at some of the power play goals and just the face-offs. He's winning big face-offs. So he's doing whatever it takes. And, maybe, him losing the C was probably all he needed now just to elevate his game to a whole other level. So I'm excited. It's tough to press fast forward as we're looking at the playoff picture where, yes, they did have a cushion 2 weeks ago, but all these other teams are playing well where they think it's, between them and ninth place is 7 points or 8, 9 points.
It's just crazy.
Right? Where, again, they still have to continue to put their foot in the gas because you don't want this team to get complacent. I think if they continue to play at a high level and play consistent, I can see them riding this into a pretty decent first round where, they get a good opponent, and I could see them winning fairly easily just based on how these guys are performing on a nightly basis.
Going to hear from Matthew Knies next. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
What's up? It's your boy Pharrell from Sports Grid Radio. We're taking our show on the road to the Big Easy, baby. I'm live all week from 3 to 6 in the East from Radio Row in New Orleans, getting you ready for the Super Bowl. I'll be talking to legends, Hall of Famers, and anyone who's anyone. And it's not just me. The whole Sports Grid crew's coming with me. We're covering the lines, the odds, and the prop bets all week long. It's all on Sports Grid Radio. Channel 159 in your car and whenever you want on the SiriusXM app.
From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations, Team Canada, Face-Off, Associate GM, Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
Yeah, we're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Leafs Game Night. The Leafs win 6-3 in Calgary, on to Seattle Thursday, on to Vancouver on Saturday, and then the Four Nations break for a lot of the Leafs, but not all of them, because some of them are going to the Four Nations competition. So let's hear from Matthew Knies. He talks about what stood out about Nylander's game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he capitalized on every opportunity he had. He did an incredible job, capitalizing on special teams as well, too. So, we're really happy with his performance today.
See how the play developed where you scored.
I saw Domi got a breakaway, so just try to follow it up, and unfortunately there I beat him to the puck, and probably one of the easier goals I've scored in my career for sure. So.
Were you wondering at all if they might challenge for goalie interference?
Yeah, I honestly don't know what they were trying to challenge. I didn't really see a replay of it, so I didn't know if it was offsides on me or if it was a goal interference. So luckily it's a good goal.
Speaking of challenges, it was a weird start to the game. You got your side gets one comes off the board, their side gets one comes off the board.
Yeah, I mean, kind of slowed the game down for sure, and yeah, it's quiet up the legs a little bit when we were on the bench. So just try to get moving, and yeah, I think we did a good job jumping back from that and scoring.
Probably McMahon's got career high in goals already. Like what stands out about the season he's put together, the step he's taken?
He's done unbelievable. He did a really good job tonight. Skating on the puck, being hard, being physical. He's definitely found that power forward game, and yeah, he's done a great job for us.
How did Domi fit in beside you in Austin? How did you feel tonight?
Really good. I thought he made great plays. I thought he was moving his feet. I thought he was slashing across the ice really well and just creating space. I thought he had some good looks, and yeah, it's been really fun to play with.
With that, how did you feel the collective group stepped up without Mitch Marner?
I thought we did a great job. Obviously, he's a tremendous player, and it's going to hurt our team that he can't play. But I think guys stepped up, and I think we did a really good job. And I think Doms filled those shoes really well, and it just helped us out a lot.
How has been clicking on this trip so far?
I just think the simplicity of it, getting shots on net, just rebounds, little plays like that. I think it's been helping us, moving the puck well, breaking in easily. I think that's the kind of things that, we try to look over on video, and I think we've done a great job with that.
Matthew Knies talking about Nylander originally and then going through the rest of the game. So, Stu, if you had to pick out your favorite goal, it might be a bit of a chore tonight, could you?
I like the Knies one, right? And again, I was surprised they didn't challenge it, but just crashing the net there too. But I think for me, it's got to be the Bobby McMahon, right? Because it's been a year and a half now where we know what type of player McMahon is, but the teams just seem like they're underestimating his speed and his shot, where they're not necessarily taking away time or space or his lanes. He just seems that he's a good break or a half a step away every single shift from getting a breakaway or high danger scoring opportunity. So tonight, him coming in and making Dustin Wolf look like a rookie and just going bar down and just catching it off his backhand and quick release. I'm really excited for the rest of his season. He's bringing another, depth scoring piece, and I could see him having a big role as the last 30-plus games and playoffs come along.
I remember when he first got called up, Frankie C. and I would comment about how he was able to use his body along the boards really well. But the skating and the shot, you're absolutely correct. And when you have that physical element and that skating and that shot, you wonder 2 to 3 years down the road what we're talking about.
I know it's tough. It's tough, and it's going to make some other guys expendable, right? Because there's only so good. The good thing the cap is going up, because how are you going to pay all these guys in a couple of years, right? And you might have Minton come in and score 20 goals. Matthew Knies is at 20, on pace for 30. What's his number going to be? So I know we punt that down the road, and it's something to think about down the line. But it's a good problem to have when you have guys that are overachieving as opposed to on the other element. And we talked about the teams 8 years ago where there was a lot of guys overpaid and not really producing compared to their cap hits.
Yeah, they got away with one thing tonight, Stu. They gave the puck away 27 times.
There's probably 19 of those in the first period, right? And you saw like he was not too impressed on how the game was going on. Maybe it was him blocking all those shots. But quick stat before we wrap up here. Before tonight's game, it's kind of a crazy stat. The Leafs were 13th in goals for per game, 13th in goals against, 13 in power play, 13 in penalty kills. So I don't know if that's good luck or bad luck, or maybe that's the element of Matt Sundin coming to win the Stanley Cup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Lucky 13.
Yeah, lucky 13. And few people have ever said that, but nonetheless. Stu, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. So Calgary has a tough time with the Leafs as the Leafs prevail by a score of 6-3. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Head over to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, for the best hockey talk.
Get to the stage on time so you can get up and do your stand-up comedy when the audience is waiting. The ticking clock makes people realize we don't have time to screw around. We got to fix this and do it right now. So that was, in many ways, as miserable it was for, and particularly with my team, because I had a great team, but they did the heavy lifting, because in essence, we had to do everything on handshakes. You're not going to get everything documented. But these are
Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up!
Game on his stick! Scores! Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac! Go Leafs, go!
NHL schedule for Wednesday, February the 5th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., New York Rangers take on the Boston Bruins. Rangers on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 938, Bruins on Internet 921. 9:30 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks face the Edmonton Oilers. Blackhawks on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 925, Oilers on Internet 930. 10:30 p.m., LA Kings face the Montreal Canadiens. Kings on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 932, Canadiens on Internet 934. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Wednesday, February the 5th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., New York Rangers take on the Boston Bruins. Rangers on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 938, Bruins on Internet 921. 9:30 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks face the Edmonton Oilers. Blackhawks on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 925, Oilers on Internet 930. 10:30 p.m., LA Kings face the Montreal Canadiens. Kings on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 932, Canadiens on Internet 934. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Wednesday, February the 5th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., New York Rangers take on the Boston Bruins. Rangers on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 938, Bruins on Internet 921. 9:30 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks face the Edmonton Oilers. Blackhawks on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 925, Oilers on Internet 930.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 86, and the SXM app.
Former owner of the Colorado Avalanche, Charlie Lyons, had 7 days to figure out how to keep Joe Sakic from joining the New York Rangers back in '97, and he stopped by Sirius XM NHL Network Radio with Steve Koulias to talk about how a little film called Air Force One helped him feel more confident in the face of this chaos and keep Sakic.
Okay. Coincident with that, we were releasing Air Force One. I had another company, Beacon Communications, run by two terrific film producers, Armin Bernstein and Mark Abraham. And we had decided to make a big movie. There's no guarantee how those things work out, but everything came together. Wolfgang Peterson, Harrison Ford, terrific script by Andrew Marlowe. And it was pure joy. And it came out and was one of the most successful movies of all time, leading R-rated release in history. So you're feeling kind of good about things. And what that did was it created some confidence when you get cold-cocked like this. A really successful organization, Jim Cronin, Art Aaron, Tim Romani, who had built Kaminsky Park, to sort of huddle and say, okay, what do we do with this? Do we want 5 draft picks? What are we going to do without Joe? Well, that was an idiot test, right? What are you going to do without Joe? You're going to end up in the toilet. And Joe was, somebody that Pierre saw as a potential successor for him when he was no longer interested in being the president of the team. And so there was so much at stake. In essence, what you do, you bang around like a pinball for about 3 days trying to figure out where the restroom is. But then you get your act together and you say, okay, well, let's not waste this crisis. What would we need to do to put ourselves, the company, in the best position to feel smart about matching this offer? And the answer was pretty simple. You're not going to take money from the film company and pay a professional athlete and say, thanks for, you've grown up, Beacon, you've done a great job, and as a prize, we're going to take all your money away and play a hockey player. That wouldn't happen. But what that did is it allowed me to pick up the phone and call the mayor and say, hey, Wellington, look, let's finish the arena deal, because in order to sell to all of our free agents a vision about what Denver sports and Colorado sports can be, we should be in a state-of-the-art venue. And we've got, all the pieces in place to do that. Let's finish that deal. That'll send a message. And these things we're haggling over, I need them to pay Joe Sakic and keep the team together. We've got to be able to put a respectable product on the ice. Number 2, great corporate partner in Liberty Media. They're legendary in the media business. And to reach out to them and say, look, now we have the arena, we've got these 2 teams and things are relatively stable. How would you like to invest in a small piece? And not coincidentally, the exact number that we need to match this offer. So I'm padding, our resources. And then the final piece, which was the one we were pretty confident we could get done. We didn't know if we could get any of it done, but we were confident we might get this last one done, is that Fox wanted to re-up with the Avalanche and the Nuggets. So to cement them for a long period of time and maybe recalibrate the rights payment so we got more up front, again, improving, that gave us the strength to then turn around and on day 7 and say, oops, sorry, you stank.
MLB Network Radio is your home for 24/7 baseball talk, featuring on-site coverage of every major event from spring training through the World Series and expert analysis from former general managers and players. SiriusXM Channel 89.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your